Hey, my friends. Welcome to Clubby's Clubhouse number 37. Clubby, I'm going to change the names of the show to We.
Hello. I'm never going to try the we.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No
that's
we's for
Raquel's
you.
territory.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. She's the only one allowed to do the we. We. Hello, my friends. Seems we've just been here.
Yes. We were just here, and I left for a burger, and you did not. You're hungry. So let's
No,
hurry
I'm
up and
fine.
say our hellos so that you can at least snack on what's in front of you, which I think
Oh,
is an
no.
ice cream sandwich.
It's a
Yeah, we can
garbage,
cover it for a few
really
minutes.
bad
Yep.
one. No. I'm fine. I'm not worry about that. No, we're good. Well, hello everybody. Good to see you. I was just trying to put a link up for the Iconicon schedule. Everybody, I'm gonna put. There we go.
And Chris Persha made you
Damn it.
something so beautiful.
I saw that. Thank you,
Yeah, it was
Chris
amazing.
Persia.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Let's see here, everyone. Sorry about that. I was trying to make a link for the Iconicon schedule. I want to thank my great friend Michael French and my wonderful friend Melinda, his wonderful wife, and Jeff Barker and Matt Swafford all for hanging out with me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to not thank my computer for being a jerk off when I'm trying to put something in it, because my computer is really crap.
Uh-oh.
But I want to thank them. I had a lot of fun with the Iconicon panel that I was just so honored to host with Michael French of Retro Blasting. The Iconicon is just fantastic, everybody. If you miss it, please go give it a look later if you're into toy comics. But even if you're not, if you're into other geekness from the 80s and 90s and stuff, mainly 80s, but 90s and 70s are in there a little bit, please check out this link to the Iconicon 2022 schedule, because they still have 3 more days to go. They started it yesterday.
Dun, 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 dun.
Fantastic panels, online panels as they call them, and but I had a blast doing that one. Thank you all for anyone who showed up for that. I really appreciate it, my friends, and had a lot of Retro Blasting fans there as well, and I just thank them for showing up. I had a marvelous time doing it, and I really just great stuff. And here we are with the Clubhouse tonight, folks, to do a little clubbing. And
I hope you got a bunch of new
clubbing.
I hope you got some new subs, Clobbering Time. So.
I don't know. It's
I
possible.
hope you did.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice, but it's cool either way. That's the important thing. But here's one show note, folks. Saturday night Star Trek, the series wrap party. That's right, Star Trek: The Next Generation series wrap party. We will review the final episode, All Good Things. We'll talk about our best and worst episodes, best moments, rank the seasons, and yell and scream and gnash teeth and all that stuff. Talking about ending up this show and moving on in the next 2 weeks to the movies, and then finally to DS9. So looking forward to that. Same Trek time, same Clobby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Saturday night.
I'm looking forward to that, but I'll be late because my town is too cheap to have fireworks on the 4th of July. So we're having fireworks night that night. So when I get back, I'll drop in.
I stand under.
Funny.
Well, let's see. Let's shout out our friends. Of course, the great Chris Persia is here tonight. Good. Thank you, buddy.
You, great wrench of the north. You, Chris Persia. I love you. You are so thoughtful, so amazing. I love the show poster you made us.
Thank you.
I just gave it to Clobby.
Awesome,
I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And thank you, especially for keeping my antennae in the photograph. And you took 6 pages worth of notes, and so did Jill. So holy Moses, I feel so great that you guys are so energized by this, wanting to have this in-depth discussion, and you brought your receipts. So Chris, I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah,
well,
mwah.
After we say our hellos and stuff, we will get right to business reviewing the newest episode of The Orville. But first, again, shout out to the great Chris Persia. Thank you for that, Chris. I really appreciate that, buddy. Dave Bob, buddy, what is up, man? Good to see you, pal. And thank you all of you who are here, who were at the panel tonight. It means a lot to me. I couldn't shout anything out because we had a schedule going. Couldn't shout anyone out, but I really appreciate everyone who showed up, and everyone who's here now.
That was a great chat. Yeah, great chat.
Great chat. It was huge. I could not look at it as it was doing so, but it looked like it was rocking. I got it was great. Yeah, it's amazing. So, Wendy Webb, lovely to see you, lovely lady. Thank you for being here. I hope you were doing well. Cal L, buddy,
the real soup.
What's up, man? Good to see you. Minimusness is here. Larry,
the man who is such a sweet gentleman. You say his name twice, perhaps thrice. Larry.
Jill is here. The wonderful anti-derivative Jill, our wonderful communications officer. Good
and
to
she
see
just
you,
said
Jill.
that her notes aren't ready yet, boss. She said that her notes will be ready later on.
No problemo.
She's got 8 episodes of TNG to watch real quick.
Does she?
Yeah, she's 8 episodes behind on season 7. You
better
do your homework.
You can just watch the last one.
Kids or TNG? Come on, where's the
honey?
here?
The teacher is giving you a full extension. Don't worry about it. The semester isn't over yet. You may turn in your work. I will still grade those essays.
Indeedishness, Snail Messiah. Hey. What's up, my friend? Great to see you, buddy. That's all that I see so far, but I'm sure hopefully more friends will pop in. It is very late. We're starting an hour later, everyone, so I'm sorry about that. Mazerus. Hey, Mazerus.
Maze!
No, everyone just missed an hour of the show. No, just kidding.
I might get, Dave Buff said I might get 5 new subs. Really? That'd be a lot for me. I'll take them. Yeah.
I like what Jill says. Thank you. I lived for extensions. She means she lived for extensions in university. I love it, Jill.
Not hair extensions.
No, not hair extensions. No.
Well, pardon me. I wouldn't know anything about university, but I would know. I'll tell you what.
Yes. You're the president and CEO of Clobby University, the grand poobah of all Geekdom University.
In that case, boy, that's a bad bar. That's a low bar there.
Don't say that.
It's not.
It's a high bar.
Yes, I'm the master of useless information, and I can't even get that right. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. All right, everyone.
You got to keep learning. You never graduate.
Should we?
That's right.
Should we start just? I hate to use the term "get it over with."
Yeah.
But is everyone ready just to talk about it? It's got to be talked about. I mean, you can't. I guess
do I have to go first this time again?
No, you don't.
Just kidding. I can. I don't mind going first. I don't mind going first.
You don't have to. Ladies go first. Because I got to be honest with you. I don't have much to say.
I got lots to say. I'll go first.
You can do the saying. All right, everyone. Here's what we're going to do, folks.
Well, I'll turn my Orville cam on.
Wait a second before we, get going.
That looks sexy.
So Tom Constantino, he retweeted my tweet today. So I was joking before the show. I can't say anything bad about it anymore. So
he's a shill. Mark's a shill now.
What do you retweet?
My tweet about this picture with the model.
Oh, nice.
So Orville Nation did. Yep.
Eric. But we have nothing against. I have nothing against.
I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
I have nothing against Tom Constantino. Nothing but respect for him so far. I mean, but and he's a very nice guy. So
yep.
Let's see.
That was very nice.
Larry just said that basically your university is like the Hotel California. You can enroll, but you can never graduate. So that must make you an eagle, honey. You're an eagle. Larry. My thoughts to your thoughts.
Indeedishness. Well, there you go. It's episode 5, right? 5.
Yeah.
Episode 5. Yep.
A Tale of Two Topas, season 3, episode 5.
I'm making a spoiler warning thingy.
I didn't screenshot. I didn't have a chance to screenshot it this week, so.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not that important, really. It's not important anymore to me.
Well, we've got a sexy poster from Chris if we want to put it up.
Yeah, I can show
that. Yeah, I'll get it now.
Sexy posters from Chris.
Okay, so I'm just making a spoiler Chiron. So anyone who has not seen the episode yet and wants to watch it and not be spoiled, I'm making this now so that we can and I forgot to make it before. I apologize. I used to have one. I'll have to have one. Yes, so you won't be spoiling. If you care about that.
Is Hungry Boy here?
I don't know, but he might. If he pops in, he'll see that.
He'll
So,
pop
Yeah.
anyone, if you see this, just you can, you can, mute. And then when you see it not running, it means we're not spoilering anymore.
Yes, yes, yes. And if you could share the link to this show on your socials, we would be so grateful, especially if you were to hashtag Orville.
Yeah.
And especially since it's a relatively new link, right? This is the second link for the show, I guess.
Yes, this is the new link to the
it's
show.
the new link. I screwed the other one up, everybody. So
Help us, help us.
all right. Well, here you go. I'll put that up there, and then we'll
JD Lewis. Hiya.
Hey, JD. Good to see you. Who else has popped in here?
Look at this beautiful artwork.
Yeah, great.
Nicely done.
This art, courtesy of the great Chris Persia. Thank you so much, buddy.
I love the way
Kay's
that
here.
he filtered the S as well for
Eric K
Clobbering
is here.
Times.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate
Perfect.
that.
I for
Eric
detail.
K is here. By the way, we didn't say hello to the great Bronze Wrencher. Hey, Bronze.
I yelled at him.
Good to see you. Oh, I didn't hear it.
Hey, Eric.
Loopy. So, okay, everyone. This is the Orville New Horizons, season 3. In other words, episode 5, A Tale of Two Topas review, and we will start with our wonderful first officer, the extraordinary Commander R.M. Briggs. Go for it.
Okay, here are my notes. It's kind of like Saturday Night Star Trek. I'm going to go super fast. Okay, the opening scene is weird. A pointless Indiana Jones side story that features Charlie. Lots of Charlie. Also, Isaac saves the day. For the first time in this episode, Isaac saves the day. There will be a second time Isaac saves the day in this episode. Archaeology is a nod to Captain Picard. Then we move right into the Kobayashi Maru. And I know you all yelled, Kobayashi Maru!
Wrath of
Mr.
Khan.
Angel.
Yeah.
Mr. Angel, hey.
Hey. And then I wrote, About a Girl was very clearly about the 200 million missing and murdered women and girls worldwide. Now, this is something that's widely reported by governments all over the world. There are over 200 million missing and murdered women and girls worldwide. Gendercide is a massive problem worldwide. Dowries are expensive. Parents can't pay it. It leaves them desperate. Women and girls can't work in certain countries to support their families. So men are preferred. Males are preferred for cultural and other practical reasons. This is in one-child societies, in poor countries, and in countries where it just becomes the cultural norm, almost religious. This is enforced through selective abortion and infanticide. And it's quite a bad problem. So that's what About a Girl was about. This episode is going in a completely different direction. This is clearly about gender reassignment surgery. It involves the social and legal politics and the autonomy of children, minor children. Some dialogue is about multicultural workplaces and religious accommodations at work and in the military. In this episode, we hear more talk about Kelly's alcohol abuse, her drinking. This is a regular feature of the show now. Clyden Coleman. Clyden is such a good actor, Coleman. He feels Mocklin. He feels otherworldly. What a terrific actor. The archaeology story just simply doesn't fit here. It's almost as if Seth MacFarlane is trying to find a way to fit his girlfriend into the show. Bordas Peter Macon is a gifted actor. Kelly and Clyden open the teacher interference debate that is raging in the United States right now. Clyden stabbed and killed Bordas. We know this, and we know that he is quite dangerous. Peter Macon is a brilliant actor. He is absolutely gifted. He is so sincere. His eyes and his expressions are truly beautiful. The simulation reveal is another example of non-parental guidance by a teacher. We see this again when Clyden chides Kelly for using the transition pronoun. Then we get into some issues about government interfering with the choices of the minor child and the parents. Keep in mind that Topa is only 3 years old. Now, I know a lot of people out on the internet are talking about, oh, you know, they age quickly. She's still only 3 years old.
Right.
And then we go back to the empty Charlie and Picard is nothing burger. That's what I call the returning to that scene. It's almost as if Seth MacFarlane is trying to give you an emotional break from the show instead of creating a clear secondary story. It's a nothing burger. It's making Charlie into Picard. It's boring. It's pointless. And we're waiting for something to happen at that archaeological dig. Nothing happens other than the weird Indiana Jones stuff. Isaac saves the day for the second time in this episode by performing or volunteering to perform this surgery and then performing it. It's weird that Clyden doesn't report all of this. Last time, a Moclan warship showed up when he secretly reported what was going on. So that takes the person who has been with the Orville from the beginning, that takes them out of the story. And then I wrote, this is very difficult subject matter. Gender reassignment surgery for very young children. In real life, it's not quite as simple physically, especially for a young child. This would mean many painful surgeries and perhaps a lifetime of sterility. I bawled my eyes out, of course, because when I think about the plight of adults who transition, I care very much about that and their freedom to do that and how difficult that must be for them. The issue is already decided in my heart for adults, but it is tough to oversimplify it so much for such young children. Like Seth has done this in this episode, I put in my notes. This, of course, is a very tangled issue. It's involving teachers and how we're handling it in real life. It gets a little bit preachy. I would like to see us talking about this way about adults because I think that's, you know, super important. But I'm you know, it's a very tender and scary thing for a child, especially a child that would only be 3 years old. How would a child, you know, at 3 years old be able to make that decision? I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I have nothing to add there. I can't say anything about that. I do know that this is a very difficult subject matter for us in our society today. This very fully transitioning very young minor children. And I wrote at the end here, science fiction is about technology, futurism, and first contact. It helps us to deal with our anxieties about technology, futurism, and alien species. This is very clearly a social studies issue, and it's not so much of a science fiction episode. And that's all I have in my notes.
Science fiction was in this case, it was the tool. It was the mechanism by which they could get on their little podium, get in their little pulpit and preach what they wanted to preach. And the thing is, it's very difficult because Topa's situation, yes, and Topa's 3 years old. Unless they're trying to make us think even more years went by. Looks about 10 or 12 or something, but
yeah,
Topa
they call her an adolescent, but of course, she would be 3 years old.
Right. So
how
3
long
years old,
is
basically.
how much time between season 2 and 3? But I agree, yeah, much.
I believe
very young.
I believe Seth said it was 1 year.
Yeah.
This is a tired, quote unquote, science fiction trope where you use science fiction to get what you want. In this case, since it's an alien race, you can just say, yeah, well, they grow faster. What do you deal with it? Again, that's been done to death in all of science fiction.
Alexander.
Fantasy. Yep, fantasy, well, you name it. You can use it because it's an alien or something, so you can get away with it, which, again, it's all fine, I guess, but you can get away with it. Mm-hmm. And it was used as a tool in this case. It was, if they didn't want to tell this story, they probably would have left the Topa much younger, you know. Even though, but they knew they were going to use it because last season the kid looked too old, or last time, the previous season. Yeah. This is not a science fiction story. It's just using the science fiction trappings and tools to tell it to preach its message, and a lot of its message I don't buy into. It was not that far off from being as being the cudgel that it was last week, really. And I'm not fond of this. But if you just leave that aside for a second, I found this episode extremely boring, probably because I wasn't happy with where they were going, probably because I don't check into this show to be preached to. I want, really good episodes of the Orville make you think, well, you weren't doing something that makes anyone think. Everyone pretty much knows what they think about this subject one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not offering any kind of insight into this argument at all. There are no fresh ideas coming from you that you're dealing with. Now, again, About a Boy handled it pretty well, no matter where your beliefs were. The previous season, Topa had the form and mental acuity of an 8-year-old. Well, I mean, it was still 3 years old. I mean, it's clear where these people come down on it. I think they were probably, their idea of balance was the union taking the stance that the union was making the argument. They weren't really. The union agreed with them. They just said, for expedience, you can't do it. We're ordering it. We were with you, but for expedience, you can't do it. Well, basically, this was the meddling teacher or whatever that goes and tries to go to the state to force parents to do what they think is best, not what the teacher thinks best, not what the parent wants to do.
That's exactly what this was. And the thing that is very troubling for me, everyone here knows, and it's going to make me very unpopular and it's going to make people very upset, but I am liberal. And so I support the lesbian, gay, bi, and trans community. I very strongly support them. I have friends who are trans, but I think that where the difficulty comes in here for me is that this is essentially a 3-year-old child that's body ages more. And by Chris's estimation, she'd be about 9 years old. Well, that's pretty much waving a magic wand to fully transition and face multiple surgeries, having to take hormone therapy for the rest of your life, and face sterility or possible sterility depending upon the decisions that you make. That's quite a lot for a 3-year-old, an 8-year-old, or a 9-year-old child to decide. And so I think here he makes it, it gets really preachy, and that's good if you're talking about adults and you're talking about people who are in the capacity to be able to make that decision for themselves. But waiving the technology to just, we can put you inside of a rabbit hutch, we can wave a tool over you and make that happen for you, and then saddle that with all of this rhetoric, all of this really progressive rhetoric. I think it's dangerous to oversimplify it, and I come from the left. So a child 3 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, or even 12 years old, facing multiple surgeries, having to take hormone therapy for the rest of their lives, and having to face the decision of whether or not they want to risk being able to have a child at such a young age. I think if Seth was going to tackle this issue, I think he should have been a little bit more brave about it instead of hiding behind the magic of the Orville. If you're gonna come to an issue like this and you're going to put it on stage and put it under a microscope and say, this is what I believe, I think that you have to be honest, a little bit more honest about what that means for the child physically, because there are no magic wands here. You can't just go into a digital rabbit hutch and make it all happen.
Well, I think
also he's got a... No, go ahead. I just wanted to... one point on this. But
you go, Clabby, and then I'll speak. Yep.
I was going to say that also, let's face it, he's cheating. Because we all know that Topa was born female, not someone saying, I feel like I was born female. Yeah. Not someone saying, I'm a female trapped in a man's body, a male body.
Yeah.
In the context of this fiction, she actually was born female. Didn't they?
Yeah.
So this, again, he's using it, but really he gets to fall back on, well, but she really was born female and they forced a change. So that's why he'll get sympathy, because people will be like, well, yeah, but they did. Remember, she was born a certain way, and those rotten bastards, and they were horrible to do that, what they did to her. And most people go, he will garner sympathy for his side with a false narrative of, in this case, because we're not talking about someone who says they believe or feel they're one thing. It's a fact that this kid was changed, with given no say in it, and against one of the parents' will by a pretty mean government. So, and
well,
yet,
Clyden too. Clyden called her a monster.
Right. It's horrible. It's horrible what was done to the child. And so the thing is, you're supposed to. It's easy. This is manipulative because he didn't use adult characters. He used a character that we all knew was an innocent child forced to have their sex changed against, his will. Yeah. So that's why he gets to cheat with it, and it's just slimy and really, I don't.
Well, it does really push aside all those tough issues that he can't really tackle. He makes the rhetoric sound so easy, but the rhetoric is actually really difficult, especially for those struggling to make that decision, either for themselves or for their children. And so, no matter where you stand politically, he definitely took the coward's way out there. He brought it up, then hid behind some magic wand stuff, and didn't really tackle it. So. If you really want to tackle social issues like this, you really have to get into it and address it, make concessions, make your arguments, and engage in that Socratic dialectic and let the public choose for themselves.
You want an example when he did it correctly? Last season, I forget the name of the episode, there was an adult male engineer, Mocklin engineer. He made that episode was a great allegory about the way hatred of gays, for example, when he wanted to date a woman, and that was legit because it was about an adult and it wasn't cheating. He was truly being abused.
Yes. It was brave and beautiful.
It was totally different. That is moralizing done right. The show used to know how to do. This is not. I don't know if Seth is capable of seeing the difference. Many people who are blinded by ideology are not. I don't know. Mark, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
well, I mean, no, it's all great stuff. Yeah. I mean, I like the episode on some fronts. I agree the archaeology bit was just a waste. I was hoping they would tie in and find out like that alien species maybe was all women or something to tie it into the episode.
Me too.
That would have been cool. When they showed the creature, I was hoping at least they discover something interesting. I mean, the special effects are neat and the Indiana Jones stuff is fun, but that's a throwaway thing. So that didn't tie in. And I texted to CLOBBERIN Times last night. Either they should have done this, in season 7, maybe when the character had grown up and Topa was much older. That would have made more sense, or at least because About a Girl was just so well done. You didn't need to hit it this soon, and this the next the 2 seasons later. Although the time difference, you'd really done a great job with that issue and with that episode. Mm-hmm. So I thought they should have just let it sit. And then the other thing I thought that Clyden was really given second shrift, and of course they did have the one line. You find out that he was born as a female, and he said he never wished that he knew it, to try to make him a little bit more sympathetic. But he was really, About a Girl, they really portrayed both sides better. They gave at least more both arguments in that courtroom scene, and Clyden really was set up to be a bully here. But you got to remember, this is an alien species where that is their society, right? Mm-hmm. So, it's to be born a female, although, we think it's horrible what they do. That's their culture, and you're going to be an outcast for the rest of your life. And he was born a female. So they kind of throw that up and then they ignore that his whole point of view. He's just the bully.
Gendercide is a huge issue, Mark. It's a huge issue. And so About a Girl was definitely about gendercide. And now, it's a huge issue. When you shift the population by murdering 200 million women and girls, that's a huge shift in population. And in some countries, there aren't even enough women to marry. So that's a huge thing. But
I did also
to bring it over to this issue,
a little bit.
I'm not sure it was effective. Right now, no matter what anybody believes politically, no matter how far right you are, no matter how far left you are, there are parents out there who are struggling for whatever reason, whatever ideology. I want you to set all of that aside, who are really struggling with this idea that their child is a different gender, or this feeling, or this notion, or this absolute conviction that their child is a different gender or no gender at all. And they're really struggling with this. And there are stories in the paper of parents struggling with this issue with children that are toddlers. And so I just think that for Seth MacFarlane to bring this up and then to back away from it and turn it and wave a magic wand in front of it, like it's all really easy. If you're a mom or a dad and you had a 3-year-old son and you were going to transition him into a girl, the way that Seth says it in his office, the way that Ed Mercer says this in his office, he makes it sound like it would be preposterous to do anything to the contrary, that the will of the child must hold. And for a 3-year-old, that's a very, very painful operation, and it's also a huge decision that does involve the parents. So the thing that bothers me is no matter how you vote, no matter what you think about this issue, he waved a magic wand so he didn't have to deal with the really tough stuff that he brought up, stuff that society is really struggling with. And it was cowardly.
Because it's just, I mean, if you could have, I hate saying it, but I have not hate, but I'm just saying, the cliche, I do have transgender friends and no transgender people. And, it's a very difficult decision.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, if you could, they made this sound like going to the dentist's office in the future.
Yes.
And just, if you could flip your gender that quickly, it really wouldn't be an issue. Because, there was a quote that Jill put up where they mentioned in the union you had to be an adult to do it, and I think you had to get the consent of one parent on a special case. But I mean, if you think about that, though, I mean, for people that are suffering and going through this, I mean, if you could literally just go to an hour procedure and you could switch your gender, I mean, that would help so many people. And I know people that have gone through it, and it's not an easy procedure. So they're mixing up two things here. I think with you've got the child rights, parental issue with a young child versus, transgender rights and for adults. So there's a conflation of those. I'm saying the word wrong.
He's conflating. He's conflating all the issues to oversimplify
those issues together because it's a no-brainer for the audience that yes, Topa should be allowed to go back to her original gender, and then you've got those lines that she feels those are common phrases that you could hear that the character is saying. And I did like Kelly picking up on what the character was going through, and I thought that Isaac beautiful. Bringing that up, I thought that was very nice. And that mental health, and that's something everyone should be aware of and catch those warning signs and don't ignore those warning signs. So I thought those were good.
That's right.
Parts of the episode,
especially the part about the child not wanting to live anymore, and then everybody rushing to make sure that the child was okay. But that was, and Isaac, of course, has this funny line. Do you want me to broadcast to the crew that we're not having a sexual encounter? Yeah. But that I mean, I thought those were good parts of the episode.
Isaac's
but
the best thing in the episode.
Yeah.
But it
is sad because imagine if you had that child right now, Mark, and somebody put this exemplar in front of you and basically made it seem like your decision was already made. It was a simple decision to make, that you would elect to operate on your 3-year-old child. And no matter where you stand politically, that is a very tough decision for those parents. And this is something that society is grappling with right now. This is a very serious societal issue, legal issue, familial issue,
parental rights
identity issue.
Too,
And he handled it like a coward. And I know many of you are conservative, and I know many of your views, and many of you know that I am liberal, and you know my views. But I will say, even as a liberal, I am highly, highly disappointed in the way that he trivialized the agony that these parents and these children have to go through in making these life-changing decisions at such a tender age. It was cowardly, and I don't think anyone should be clapping for this. To clap for this, I think, would be to trivialize this idea in the public's mind, the public at large, not specialized groups that understand the material, but the public at large. And that's really sad to me.
Well, that's why I didn't like the portrayal of Clyden in this. Not that the actor's fantastic, but the way he was treated.
Welcome.
Hey, Hey,
And
Pop.
Pop Culture Republic. Hey there,
Hey, pop,
We
pop,
got both
pop.
Pops there.
Pops.
But just the way that he was basically dismissed as a, as an
Right.
idiot, I guess you'd say,
They've
and
always
really,
made him pretty bad. To be
they've always
honest, they've
made him pretty
always
bad.
treated him pretty
Yeah, he's
bad.
not
Yeah.
a nice guy.
No, he's
Not
not
a nice
nice.
guy. Yeah, but I mean, just
Good
that's their
actor.
culture.
Yeah.
That's their culture too. So that's totally
Right.
dismissed. That
Yeah, but how many times is Seth going to pull this card, Mark? So
Yeah, well, that's what I
Clyden
wanna
is a
see.
religious zealot,
Well, he's
and
gone now,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
and every Krill is a religious zealot except for this, this resistance that sprang up out of nowhere. Apparently there was a resistance in the last episode, but I don't understand why there was a resistance if populism was a new thing that was taking over their world. So that doesn't make sense. But is every adversarial person going to be a religious zealot? I'm just wondering.
Yes, 'cause
I'm
it's
wondering
about
this is an agnostic, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's about narrative with people like Seth. When the show goes from being his want to do Star Trek to become his Twitter page, now the show clearly is his Twitter page, and it's not Star Trek anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially
I
what
hope
we
it
have
goes
going
back
in
to
our,
being Star Trek, but
what we've had in our country in the last few years. So in terms of polarization, and I'm not commenting on any political issues, but you had some decisions this week, which were timely relative to to the Orville of late. So which is interesting, just the timing of it. But yeah, I like the episodes where as we said, where it's if he had done something where you maybe encountered another culture or with another issue where you could, tie it together. But, as I said, if you could flip a switch and change that easily, it's really not much of an issue other than the one thing you could talk about. Maybe you could be, with countries that, certain countries you deal with, you make a deal with the devil, say for oil or for resources or things like that.
No, how
That's a
about
very
just for fun? I would totally, I would do it just so that I could write my name in the snow using my member.
Yeah.
I would totally do it just for one day, just to check it out, just to see what it was like. I mean, I wouldn't go horseback riding or anything like that. I don't know how you guys handle that stuff, but I'm just saying that you make a very good point, and that's exactly what I'm thinking. And I think a lot of intellectual people feel that way. If the surgery were that easy, if it were that easy to make a change, and if it were that trivial, it didn't involve excruciating pain and taking drugs and facing permanent sterility and all of these issues that unfortunately many people who want to transition they face, and that's an agony. And yeah, it's just if you didn't have to face any of that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? So just such a coward's way out. Yeah. Cowardly to every person who has ever truly struggled with this issue. And this is my problem with corporations trying to tackle these desperately intimate and heartbreaking situations and making them public and then letting people, sort of vote on whether or not they believe in it or whether or not it should be allowed to happen or things like this. It's very strange for a corporation to do this. I can't believe that he got away with this. His editor should have come forward and said, look, if you're going to table this, you're going to have to tackle some of the difficult issues. You can't just keep waving magic wand here. And that didn't happen.
But Dave, Bob, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, that again, I think that's why he's using it as a crutch. He says, "Remember,
Agreed.
This is about someone who is regendered without their knowledge." Yeah, but he's cheating with it because we're not talking about someone who says they feel like they were born in the wrong body. We know that Topa was, and that and it's hard not to feel sorry for Topa in that instance right there. And Topa just doesn't know about it until in this episode. But so it's a big cheat. This is what you get when you put agenda and narrative over story. You're going to have these problems, and he didn't have that before because he had things he wanted to say, and he was able to amalgamate those with great stories and great drama and great characterization. Now he doesn't care about characterization or stories right now.
Can I back you up on that and interrupt you very briefly just to say, I'd not only agree with my captain, but I don't know about everybody else in the crowd, but I really liked it when Quark transitioned. Quark actually had to transition. He enjoyed it. He had a sexual encounter that he enjoyed. And at first he was quite worried about it. And then when he transitioned back, he had some residual feelings there. And so I thought that that was really cool. And that's how you handle it if you're not willing to get into those deep life altering decisions and government and who should interfere and how old the child should be and all these things that Seth tried to get into. I prefer the Quark version. At least with the Quark version, we were like, oh, celebrate them, let them have their way, it's okay. And it was quite beautiful. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Captain.
That's all right. You know, Dave Bob, you might be right. I think I agree. I mean, these kinds of real world examples are ruining this series. He feels, and yeah, I mean, I think if it continues, I'm going to be right there with you because I don't have much. The leash is it's running out for me, and you know, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be hanging out with this show if it's going to start this crap on a regular basis. We will see. I can put up with a lot because obviously you can't watch anything if you completely, I don't know, if you just give up on something from get go. Anyway, go ahead. Number one, you can read that if you want.
Sorry, I just wanted to get to Chris because we're getting to people who were after him, and he put this up and I starred him, so I'd love to do this. I'm so sorry. Chris Persha says one of two. Clobby, Seth ignored the Clyden's opinion.
Yes.
Out of everyone there, the only other person that has been in Topa's situation is Clyden himself. Isn't that a wonderful point? I love the way Chris...
Yeah.
He ignored everything that disagrees with it.
Right. And Seth completely ignores this. And
Good
this
point,
is why
Chris.
I truly love Chris Persha. He is a very articulate, very kind person. So let's hear him out. And two of two, he says, Clyden regrets ever finding out. He said if he could, he'd choose to never to know. Ignorance and sadness is better than the regret and despair of knowing. And so there's another like really, truly tough issue to tackle. And, you know, Chris is bringing this up again. He says, Raquel, he didn't merely trivialize the underlying message. He turned it into magical musical. The music he chose to play during the end when Topa got to play Captain was Aladdin's a Whole New World. Yeah. So
I really disliked that scene.
Let me tell you something.
That was the scene I disliked the most out of the whole episode, was inviting her to the bridge and then
let me tell you why they did that with Clyden. I'll tell you why. Because there are many people, and we'll not to go too far down the transgender rabbit hole. There are people who have done it, they're out there and they're vocal and they're in large number that regret doing it. So they are to be. You got to make sure that you take the credibility away from them. So instead of writing a character that is decent, that is balanced, that is making that counter argument that maybe it wasn't such a good thing, you do it with a character that's thoroughly unlikable and loathsome. You've set it up for 2 years that Clyden is not likable. When he makes the counterpoint to the argument of your narrative, no one's going to take it. No one's going to sympathize with him because he is proven to be a bigot who got a guy put in jail. Remember in the episode Deflectors, and he's a rotten. Nobody likes Clyden because Clyden's a jerk. He's a bigot. So he had this time. He didn't have his counter argument coming from someone with any credibility or sympathy. He purposely injected the counter argument here with someone thoroughly unlikable and therefore who would not be taken seriously. And he did it on purpose.
Yep.
And people are talking about the musical distraction scene. Pop Culture Republic, I actually think that the musical distraction scene may have been a tidy up of the fact that they were never able to, bring that archaeology story to fruition. I don't know what was going on with that, or if it was just to give Charlie screen time, or what
filler.
Yeah, I think that perhaps maybe a scene got cut, and so they added that, but it's very discombobulated. We have this Indiana Jones thing with Charlie that makes absolutely no sense. There's no point to it. It's just it's a space. Think of it like a cloakroom, a vestibule. This is where you go to breathe while we keep hitting you hard with these ideas. And I think that the musical scene was the same thing. And I think that, yeah, just reiterating my same point, we don't need Indiana Jones in an archaeology scene.
No.
We don't need an orchestra. We don't need any of that stuff. If you were going to tackle these issues, you got to be super sincere when you're doing it. And, you know, these aren't ideas. You know, I would just like to say, as a person from the left, these aren't ideas, these are people. And far too many people working in Hollywood and working for corporations are treating this like it's an idea that can be won, when it's people. And we need to connect to that and have compassion. And if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it like adults. Put down your magic wand.
Thank you, Lee. Well, the other thing I wanted to mention too was you know, Kelly overstepping her bounds, as an officer and as a, you know, member of the crew. And then that also became a cop out too, because I couldn't believe the recipe. I was confused about the recipe. I said, oh, that's where she, you know, she's going with this. And I mean, you know, that's got to be left to the parents, a decision like that. And then there was a cop out when you find out that it's actually Bordas who gave Topa the code, because he saw on the bridge that someone was trying to look at a restricted file. So all along, Kelly thought she had actually told Topa, but it turned out as another cop out. But that's just as bad, that Kelly would have actually overstepped those bounds without talking to the parents again, or, you know, let the parents, you know, because it's not an emergency where the kid, this has to be done this second. It's not a, you know, a medical condition where, you know, it has to be done, you know, immediately. You could wait, you know, as long as
it could have waited.
So that, and as Chris is saying, and I had mentioned before, yeah, Clyden was the only one that had been through this. So it was really.
You're raising a good point, and so is Chris. So I just want to echo and amplify what you're saying by saying to everyone at home, where were Clyden's resources? Where were his supports? Why didn't we have Claire reaching out to Clyden to say, look, let's unpack this together. Let's sit in a room and let's talk about your very devout Orthodox religion and culture, and how that's affected how you feel about yourself, and how you made that decision going forward. And we didn't need all that archaeology stuff. We didn't need the orchestra stuff. And we really needed to, since we made a joke out of the extreme violence going on in the Clyden Bordas relationship, the shouting, him stabbing him and killing him, and all these crazy things that have gone on, mixing the jokes with this very serious subject matter, I don't think worked. So I think that we could have just erased all the Charlie stuff, even though Seth's girlfriend, you know, I think he wants to, you know, move her story forward a little bit and give her some screen time. I think we could have done without that. And we could have done without this orchestra scene. Let's just get Clyden into a room with Topa and Bordas with a psychiatrist. Let it not be Counselor Cameltoe, please. And get them talking about this and, you know, work it through. And since we're not doing pure episodes anymore, and we're going to start doing all of these, you know, this series as a long story, let's take a beat on this. Let's make them work through it. Let's get to those tough political conversations that are transpiring in America right now, in Canada right now, in Australia, New Zealand, and any rainbow country that welcomes lesbian, gay, bi, and trans people and is trying to sort this issue out within those societies. We could have really done a great job here. Instead, he took the coward's way out.
And even in some of those quote unquote liberal countries, certain procedures are banned until you're an adult, and which was the case with the union too. I guess, if I'm parsing that line correctly. So,
well, they did throw that line in there about well, you know,
you had to wait.
Claire said if it were ordinarily wouldn't do this without, you know, unless someone was an adult. I mean, they were throwing that in there to with sort of a CYA thing.
Yeah, because that's a huge, you know, it's a huge parental debate. So there, you know, I don't think you can. I think you can tackle the subject. There's a way to do it, and it's, you know, it's a real tough issue, and it's controversial in a lot of different ways. And I don't think, you know, my position. I want everyone to be happy and to be okay. But there's this whole it's a really complicated issue, multifaceted, especially when you're dealing with kids, with adults. I mean, it's much more a cut and dry, simpler issue. But Seth didn't choose to tackle the issue with adults here. He
No.
chose to tackle the issue with a younger child. So that's where it opens up.
A very young child, a 3-year-old child that he as an authors to be 8 or 9 years old, which is still an age at which these huge decisions that you're making for your child, it's really tough.
Well, not of
for
the
parents.
age of consent, basically. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And pop culture curator,
even for that the Mocklins.
even for adults. Even
Yeah,
for adults, it's a very difficult thing to do. It's no small task to transition, and for many of my friends, it has been the greatest thing that ever happened to them. And they did it as adults, but it was very hard on them. Pop culture curator says that sounds terrible. That's not why we tune in for controversial, depressing issues. Pop culture curator, this is the problem. There is too big of a temptation to use science fiction to wave a magic wand over these social issues. And that's why I'm calling him out on it. It's much better to raise these deeply troubling issues, these things that society society's really struggling with. It's better to leave it in dramas where we can have really good conversations, verisimilitude. And verisimilitude is not just, oh, let's make it so it's real. I know many of people are using that word on YouTube, but if you study literary theory, you also know that there is a big attachment of truth there. And so let's handle that in dramas. It's very cowardly to just wave a magic wand over it, wave that science over it, the magical science.
Indeed.
Well, I'm trying to say is there's ways if you wanted to tackle an issue like this. I mean, but the great thing about Star Trek, like say the episode "Devil in the Dark," you could use that as an allegory for many different things. But it's left up to the viewers. That's what I'm saying. That and of course that Devil in the Dark is ourself. But that creature, that monster, quote unquote, it's a monster. But that allegory can be used for gay rights maybe, but it's not. You can't say that's what it's about, right? But that's the beauty of that episode, how it's written, because that's left up to me to decide, and I can say, oh, I think that kind of makes me think like this way. Of course, when you first watch it as a kid, you think, oh, come on, Captain Kirk, shoot that ugly monster. What are you doing? Just shoot, just shoot. And then Kirk hesitates that 1 second, and he realizes, because he's such a smart character, that he realizes that's there's something more there. This is intelligent creature. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't want to watch a show with dark, depressing themes each week, but if you are going to tackle an issue like this and you feel it's important as a writer, there are ways to do it that gets the audience to think and then doesn't alienate people and gives more balanced approach. While you've got, obviously, the writers have their message they want to give, but
well, a lot of people in Hollywood dropped out of school in high school, so that you're not really going to see people engaging in the Socratic dialectic. And here we have in the chat, pop culture curators saying, I disagree, they do not need to bring them up, but I understand your view. Pop culture curator, make no mistake, I am actually somebody who really, really, really loves hard science fiction. I talk about it all the time, this definition of science fiction. Science fiction is about technology. It's about futurism. It's about us making first contact. It's about us discovering other planets. It's about us coming to grips with the smallness of who and what we are in this universe. I don't think that science fiction should just be purely sociology. So you and I are more alike than you think. I don't like when science fiction is just a sociology lesson where somebody pulls a headline out and off of a newspaper and makes a show about it. I prefer ideas to using science fiction as a way to let everyone know what you believe about the current politics. A science fiction is more than that.
Well, like in this, was it the second episode this season where they went to the dark universe, and that was exploration at least, and of course there were some religious undertones to that episode. But yeah, we want to see new worlds, new civilizations, and questions asked. We did get that one crazy episode where you had the as I joke, I call him the Metron because she looked like a Tron, but at least that was some science fiction ideas there, but this is purely a sociological.
Well, the last two episodes have been that.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because, like, think about it, and these writers know that they're doing this. Imagine if Clobby and I wanted to do a script about transition, and so we just decided that we were going to use witches and wizards, and rather than dealing with the issue of a child feeling like they're not in their right body, that Clobby and I just said, well, we'll just have the main character wave a bony finger, and we'll just change the child into this or this or this. It's too easy to use science fiction as a vehicle in this way, just like it's too easy to use fantasy or science fantasy in this way. If you really want to be super sincere about this kind of thing, I think, and it's just my personal opinion, I think it belongs in a drama where you can tackle sociology with a measure of sincerity. You can stretch those dialogues out and create something meaningful in a Socratic dialectic that compels people to change their rhetoric and even their ideology. But to use science as though it were magic to solve these deeply troubling sociological issues for our society, I think is a cowardly act.
And then what they could have... Oh, go ahead. Yep.
I want to address Dave Bob. He's been waiting for that. Yep. Says the point I'm making is this is not something that needs to be explored in this series. I think Seth is trying to go a step too far. Now, I agree with you. I wish it was. I don't think it needs to be either at all. I wish I would not something I would prefer either. I'm with you there, Dave Bob. And but you can still do it better if you do it. But I would wish you wouldn't do it at all. But that's just me. That's not what I sign up for with these shows. Max Redstone, $2 says I haven't started watching the Orville. Take my money. Well, thank you, buddy. You're too kind. I appreciate that.
Pop culture curator's leaving, boss. Good night, Pop.
Pop culture.
Take care, Pop culture,
buddy. Have a good night, man.
But the other thing they could have done too is just had this as a minor plot thread, maybe then running throughout the season. Or
kind of been running for a while though.
But I mean, don't boom, now it's finished with. But you could have had it, with this character Topa, maybe exploring a little bit, but then don't have a whole episode about it. And and then you leave it, for several, who knows how many seasons we get. But if you did have a bunch of seasons, then as the character, ages, and then you could have, like you're saying, you could have more time to talk about this and give a more nuanced approach in both sides. Where this is boom, this is what we're doing in this episode. We're going to have a Indiana Jones B plot that doesn't mean anything. And I mean, maybe if they'd thrown this in with they needed the to fight the Kalon.
Did you see what Chris put up there?
My chat is slow, I guess. It's coming
it's like you and Chris are saying the same thing.
Okay, yeah, I'm missing that. Yeah,
at least Seth gave Ed the week off from bashing theists. Yeah, however,
so if
didn't forget it by relegating that mandate to Kelly this week. Then she told Clyden, "Truth doesn't fit your backward worldviews." Now this is look. These people, they've always been doing this.
Anyway, you were saying, Mark, I just wanted you to know that Chris totally agreed with you. And Chris was like, hey, let's use that archaeology idea as some type of symbolism for all things lost will be found, and cultivate this beautiful narrative around the truth being revealed. And so Chris was thinking in the same vein you were, very creatively and very tenderly and very sincerely, and that would have been a great way to use that archaeological weird plot.
And the other thing, it could have been through diplomacy, where they need the Mocklins, and the Mocklins have great engines and weapons, I guess, too. So maybe this got the tied up with Topa was maybe not going to change, but was exploring it, and it could have been they could have had some diplomacy there and talked about the issue, and then left it for another episode, but tied it into like a more more of a story arc that made sense with the season in terms of fighting who were the bad guys, the Kalon.
Mhm.
So it just was too much. I thought too quickly in this episode. I would have liked to seen it, if you're going to do it, explore it over a longer time frame with the character. I would rather they don't have it all at once, but because the actors are good, like everyone's saying. The actors are very well done, and they're trying. They're trying, and they think that everyone is gonna. Obviously, the way it's presented. How could you not support Topa being allowed to transition? So
Yeah.
it's almost like it's a no. It's a no-brainer there in terms of
And it would
what
be
you're
for
trying to
Topa,
present.
because Topa goes inside of a rabbit hutch, and Topa can have even after the surgery, Topa will be able to have babies. Topa won't have to take hormone therapy for the rest of her life. Topa will feel no pain. There won't be multiple surgeries. She just goes in the magical rabbit hutch, and it's all done for her. And so I think that was wrong of him to do. It trivializes a very serious issue. So I'm going to reiterate my same point. I am a fan of using science fiction for science fiction, and science fiction involves us thinking about the way that technology and media changes who we are, and futurism. What are we going to invent in the future? What is our hope? What worlds are we going to go to? What aliens are we going to meet? I love science fiction. Let's let science fiction be science fiction again.
Or the other idea I just
Indeed.
have agree is how about having Clyde in transition then, maybe, right? Do an episode with Clyde in as adult.
Yeah.
Because then you find out Clyde, and because if you can just do this with the machine and a flick of a switch, I guess you can go back and forth. But maybe that would have been
You
more
can't preach
interesting
about kids when you do that.
Yeah.
But then Clyden could have.
That's what's really disturbing here.
Yeah. So Clyden you could have made the episode about Clyden, and then as Topa would have been more sympathetic. That would have been. Instead of having Clyde and the bad person and saying that horrible, I wish you'd never been born at the end.
That was
That's
terrible.
the most horrible thing a
Made me
parent
cry.
could
I didn't
ever
like
say
that.
to someone. I mean, that's just, especially since Clyden was born that way too. So,
But so was Topa.
yeah.
So,
that's the same. Yeah, but according to Topa took the easy way out, I guess, according to Clyde, or the wrong way out. So that's what's that was disturbing too. So that you could have used Clyde in maybe in a more sympathetic way in that episode too. So that's just
we
just
have
an
some
idea
bad
just have.
people here.
Yeah,
Guys.
we got plenty of mods. Yep.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry for
Thank you,
interrupting.
mods.
Mark.
No, it's okay. Yep. But
so I would just like to say now on air that because the Orville has decided to become a platform for political and sociological issues, and it's a comedy that's pretending that it's a drama, that's pretending it's science fiction, I'm not going to be evaluating it anymore. I don't think that being on YouTube is a way to handle these issues. I don't think that social media is a way to handle these issues. I think it removes all the nuance. You can't have a sincere conversation about it.
Agreed.
And you just wind up hurting people's feelings on both sides. And I don't think it gets anybody anywhere. So I just would like to say here and now that I will no longer be reviewing the Orville. Because I don't want to partake in this very glib, patronizing, insincere social media exchange where people feel very, very upset and they don't know how to deal with it. And I don't want that to be something I do on YouTube.
Well, I'm glad you said it first, because I've just, I'm in lockstep with that. I will, I might still watch the show for a while, and see what happens. We have better things we can do at the clubhouse.
Yeah.
We're not going to review it anymore. I mean, look, well, if we watch an episode and it's a good one, I'll say it's good, and we can talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to review it anymore. I just don't. I don't care. Let everybody else do it. Everyone else is doing it. Fine, you guys go review it all you want, more you want. Hey, Pleasant Valley, I'm not saying I'm completely done yet. I'm going to watch a couple of more, but I don't know how. Maybe I'll watch till the end of the season. I don't know, but I have no stomach to review it. I mean, I don't.
Do we know what the next episode is about?
I also don't feel like this is the medium to be doing that in. You know, we have a lot of anonymous people here, and I understand why people want to be anonymous. And there are a lot of people who are trying to use communications theory, linguistic theory, literary theory, sociology, psychology, and many of them haven't even been to college. And so now that we're starting to get into these dense, complex, highly intellectual, philosophical debates, arguments, topics, I just don't feel that social media is the place to make that happen. I have seen overwhelming evidence as a communications and technology scholar that you do not sway those opinions. You actually galvanize and send people to a periphery. So you not only send them to the very edges of their peripheries, but you galvanize them there on the edge. And I don't want to be a part of that.
I don't blame you at all. I have no interest in reviewing it anymore. I cannot believe I'm this deflated after a few weeks ago. I was so excited. And you know what? Incidentally, if none of this had happened in the past 2 weeks, as far as all of this propaganda and stuff, and it's just been not good episodes, I would not be upset. I'd be, oh man, that really wasn't good, because at least it's interesting to talk about it from an artistic standpoint. Was it good? Was it bad? Was this a good idea? And I would still be. I might go, that's a bummer that they're not as good, but I would be in an okay place. But I'm not. I'm just, and I couldn't believe they've done this to me in 2 episodes. Because the first episode I really enjoyed. Second one I didn't think was all that great, but it was all right. It was okay. Third one, I agree with some of the criticisms you had, Raquel, but I still found it at least trying to be enjoyable. And then 2 episodes, 4 and 5, they have made me. Last night I was just couldn't wait for it to be over. I couldn't wait for it to be over. And I was not enjoying it. I love these characters. I mean, I think, a couple of scenes here and there that were okay last night.
Yeah, there was some good stuff last night, but
guess
overall, yeah.
It's just,
I had more of a problem with last week's episode.
Oh, me too.
But
this is bad too. This is just not. I mean, it's not like they may not be exactly the same.
Well, it's not breaking new ground either. It's not. They think they're doing this amazing thing and supporting people, and it's.
I think it upsets people on the right because it oversimplifies their argument, and it makes it seem like their argument is preposterous. And for someone like me on the left, I think it oversimplifies the plight of people who really do want to change, and for parents who are struggling with these issues, and they have real physical and social ramifications for their children. This is childcare, parenting, psychology, sociology. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and so I think it does a disservice to people who are sincere on the left, who really care about lesbian, gay, bi, and trans issues. And then I think it also does a disservice to the people who are conservative, who also support lesbian, gay, bi, and trans issues, and for those who don't. And so I just don't think that it's doing anything for that dialogue other than furthering the vitriol that's going on.
It's finger wagging.
It is.
And don't need it.
You did this, but you did this, but you did this, but you did this. And social media is just not a good vehicle for this. So I'm going to stick with only reviewing science fiction. I love science fiction. I'm going to continue to talk about science fiction, but I would prefer not to talk about political dramas that are trying to sell themselves as science fiction. I don't want to do that, especially when you start involving comedy. I am not comfortable at all with the fact that Clyden stabbed Bortus to death, and he was magically brought back to life. And now we're on this issue with this same family. This is not what I support. I don't support this as a person who is a liberal person. I don't support this. I think this is wrong. This is morally and ethically wrong. It's an incomplete story that is patronizing and trivializing. I don't like it. Sorry, everyone.
No, I hear you. And forgive me. I love what you're saying here, and it's just sad that it's come to this. Like I said, Clyden's the patsy here. He's the fall guy. In other words, he's been set up to be the bigot, and now when they finally, and they've been building up. Maybe he's been planning this for a while, and then when you get, I'm not saying Clyden's never coming back. Maybe although he'll be in another episode, I don't know. But you build up to him, and then you blame him for everything, and when you set up your narrative, you make the false narrative of the people on the other side. You're all Clyden, folks. I'm the Orville crew, meaning Seth is I'm them, and you're all Clyden. If you don't agree with me, boom. And we'll make him a nasty bigot, which he was. He attacks Kelly. He attacks Isaac. And that's what you are if you don't agree with me, Seth MacFarlane.
And you're supposed to forget that he's trans himself. Like that doesn't get brought up.
Forget that. Too bad.
Yeah.
You know what? You know why, right? You know why? Like I said before, he's adult.
Yeah.
He's adult trans. And because there are people in the world, without going too far down, that are adult trans people that do talk about regrets they've had for different things they've done. Yeah. Right or wrong, I'm not here to judge them or anything like that. I feel horrible for all of these people going through these things. And those people are demonized by certain people on the left. Not you, I know, but for giving their opinions that other people who disagree with them don't like. Let's put it like that. So Clyden is that. He's that, and he's, of course, the bigot.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any way that Kelly could take Clyden. That's just my side too.
Oh, that was
Kelly
ridiculous.
weighs 120 pounds,
right?
I mean,
and Dave Bob's leaving. Dave Bob, thank you so much for joining in our conversation tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no way.
I'm gonna be a real downer on Loki's show tomorrow. I don't know if I might have to tell him up front, but I'm about done reviewing.
Yeah, see,
but
this
does
is
anyone
why I
know
don't
what
like
the next
this.
episode? I was trying to find out what the next episode was about. I was curious, the subject matter, but it's called. What's the next episode called? Twice in a Lifetime. But I can't figure out any. And there's no, just wondering what the subject is about. If anyone knows in the chat, but
I wonder who he's gonna.
I just don't want to upset our viewers. I think our viewers look to me to talk about issues that involve communications, technology, linguistics, and science fiction. They have come to ask me some questions about critical theory, about semiology, and that's what they trust me to talk with them about, and they can trust the things that I say and the resources that I provide them. I don't want to alienate or harm people, and I think that when you're speaking in a live situation where there are lots of competing, very passionate opinions, there's no way to convey what you want to say. And no matter how much training I have as a communications and technology scholar, I believe that these deeply intricate issues are best served on paper. I believe that writing on a manuscript and making sure that your words are careful, that your words are measured, and that you bring receipts and that you explain it, I think that is the perfect venue for it. And I don't want to offend or hurt anyone on either side. I want to make that very clear. I love everyone here, and I do not want to be involved in politics online or in social media. I love you all.
Thank you, Raquel. Yeah, it's a minefield to talk about this stuff. You got to be careful what you say because you don't want to offend anyone. And
let me tell you something.
Very open-minded. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mark.
No. I was just going to say I'm a really open-minded person, but God forbid you're talking about an issue like this and you say the wrong thing, and it's a minefield, and it's a very serious issue. Long discussion, like Raquel is saying. It's I'm talking here without notes. So yeah, it's I hear what you're saying, Raquel, 100%. And it's one thing to touch on these. Star Trek has had, I always refer to this. We think of this as a TNG type series. Has dealt with issues before, but in a much better way, I think. So understatement of the night. But you got to be real careful when you talk about even with the algorithm that's going. You got to be careful which words you use because. people are very sensitive to this issue, and boom, if you say the wrong thing or something happens, that's it. I mean, so
Right.
Yeah. And no matter
Yep.
who you are or how you vote, one thing I will tell you is that I have never known Mark to ever want to hurt anyone in this capacity. Mark has very close friends that are from the LGBT community, and so does Clobby. And so do I. And no matter how these guys vote, I want you to know they're my friends. I love them very much, but I'm not here to flog them, and they're not here to pillory me. So I'm not going to find my neck in the stocks, and I'm not going to pull out a whip and whip back. That's not what we do here. In real life, we are true friends, and I respect everyone's opinions. And I love you guys.
thanks,
None of
Raquel.
us.
Yep.
Next on the Orville, once in a pipeline, Ed and Kelly fight to shut down an oil field into space because it's causing
Yeah.
global warming after they get vaccinated.
Yeah, exactly.
They can
Or they should use the algorithm. See,
They can only do warp 5 now.
yeah, probably, that's next. But yeah, look, I'm at this point now where it feels weird. This is a weird feeling. I did not think we would be here right now, and I'm foolish, but I did not think 2 weeks ago, after that third episode, I thought, there's some things in there, but going into the fourth one, I didn't think it would take this long for me to be. Well, I'm going to watch next week, folks. That's all I can tell you. But look,
get it. I
if you're
watch every
there are a
week,
lot of
yeah.
channels that depend on this show that do their, and I'm glad I'm not one of them. We just review it for the fun of it. We were reviewing it for the fun of it here, folks. But the reason why we won't be reviewing it anymore, I might talk about it here and there, say if I liked it or not. But the reason why I don't want to review it anymore, and I understand what Raquel's coming from. Quite frankly, it's no fun to review it right now.
No, it's not.
If I thought an episode had nothing political but just was really crappy, I could still have some fun. I'd be going, it's a damn shame it sucks, but we can still have fun talking about it. It's interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
Last week was a tough review. Yeah, it was tough to cover that show.
Brutal to go through that crap. And this week it's brutal. I watched the whole episode. I was uncomfortable. I was bored also because the week before last set me up for this one. So I was so expecting another hit in the face that I guess I was ready for it. So I wasn't as shocked this time like I was the week before. I was just, here we go again. Could you guys just hurry this up? Could something interesting happen in this episode? Can we have a story, maybe a science fiction story?
I forgot Topa's name, so I'm like, what's this episode going to be about? I forgot who Topa was.
Oh.
I've been watching Orville. I haven't watched since I haven't rewatched it, so it's been 3 years since I saw.
I noticed a narrative shift three episodes ago, and I know everyone was really upset with me because they're like, "Oh, you're being too academic. You're taking it all apart. Can't you just shut your brain off and enjoy it?" Well, I can't shut my brain off, and when I see something and it is an objective truth, then I can't deny that it's an objective truth. And I did see a shift from science fiction with a little bit of comedy, shifting into a partisan platform in which he was going to tackle our worst issues, the very worst of us. And I know that can't be accomplished in this form, in this way, through this medium. It doesn't work.
Pop Culture Republic. That's a good point because, although I don't agree, because I thought that Babylon episode was excellent because it showed the Doctor just was showing his flagrant disregard for what those aliens wished for, and it didn't make him look out. I mean, it didn't portray the Doctor well. That was an even-handed story. I thought about the episode of Babylon 5 where Dr. Franklin went against the wishes of that alien race. And operated on the child, even though it was against their religion and stuff like that. That was handled very well, I thought, and it was brutal. But I don't mind a brutal, dark episode that makes you think that episode didn't take sides. It showed them like, hey, who, was it Sheridan or was it Sinclair, whichever one of them, it was first or second season. I mean, tore him a new one for it. And it was pretty uncomfortable. I mean, he was not portrayed as Mr. Loving great guy for doing it either.
And also, it's important to mention too that Babylon 5, the doctor could not wag his finger at anyone. He had very suspect morals and
Right.
ethics. He often made the wrong decision. He was a very dynamic character
Great
that was
character,
capable
yeah.
of making mistakes. He was not standing behind a lectern, wagging his finger hither and yon to admonish people. So I think it was a little bit different. I agree with my captain in his assessment.
But yes, but it's interesting that you bring that one up, pop culture, because it is. I'm glad you did, because it shows you can do this well, like they did in that episode, because it was a compelling episode, as opposed to now. And by the way, Kal-El, I hear you, buddy. What you just said, yeah.
Yep.
I love you, Raquel. Go ahead.
Yeah, anti-derivative Jill says, I love you too, Raquel. I value your input infinitely, but I understand that you don't want to go there anymore because this is starting to feel like the filth. And then she says, I didn't say shut your brain off. No, not you, honey. Everybody on Twitter.
No,
you would not believe Twitter. It was not you, honey. Look, but I was wrong about episode 3. Oh, sweetheart, you know what? I wanted to be wrong about episode 3. And you know what? I'm glad that I know someone is as intelligent as you are. You're a bona fide nerd, and you have all this hope and love in your heart. And Clobby had all that same hope and love. And someone like me, I got to hang around with all that hope and love. So don't you put your head high. Then she says, I'd say that I was more optimistic and used the lack of explanation to fill in the blanks to make things less sinister than it was. And you know what? I want you to continue doing that because that's why I love you. I think you're a remarkable woman. I think you're just absolutely wonderful. I love your company. Don't ever change. Always look on the bright side of life.
Jill?
Hey, you just quoted Monty Python, and the sun will come out tomorrow.
Yes.
Jill, trust me when I say this, and I think you know probably, I'm right there with you because I was so excited about this show. I mean, well, you've heard me talk about it before.
Yeah,
3 weeks ago. I was nuts for it, though. I mean, now I don't even want to wear my new hat I have of it, just about. I mean, seriously, I was so, and I never was a McFarlane fan until this show came on. I didn't like Family Guy. I respected some of him in the sense that he seemed to at least be nice to people that disagree with him and stuff like that, which he is. He is Norm Macdonald on his show. That's someone didn't agree with him, did not agree with him. But so he's that. He's a decent person when it comes to treating people who disagree. But he'll make a TV show that contradicts that and is very nasty towards those he doesn't agree with. He'll do it on Twitter too. So now. But I was so excited about this. I'm devastated, Jill. I'm devastated. If it keeps like this, I thought maybe I was hoping let last week be like a one-time thing because there have been some other shows I've loved that did it once or twice, and I'm like, ugh, what a and I still liked them, and they didn't do it all the time, and they had their one episode that I was like, oh god, that's a stupid episode, but I still love the show. But like this, wow, 2 in a row now. Larry says my Hulu subscription is in jeopardy, as is mine. I'm just, this is killing me, Jill. It's all I had to look forward to. I love Cobra Kai. I'm looking forward to that. I hope they don't ruin that. But other than that, I don't have many shows that I watch that I look forward to. And I was really excited about this, reviewing it all for better or worse. But I was the one running around telling everybody who would listen, oh, this is a great show. And he doesn't put any kind of ridiculous partisan politics in there. He's very fair-minded. I was the idiot saying that to people. I said, oh, no, man, he doesn't, the W word that Raquel doesn't like, he doesn't do that. If he has philosophical arguments in his shows for sure, but he also does great science fiction, some humor in there. It feels like the spirit of Star Trek. It's so much Star Trek in so many ways. I was saying all that shit now. I feel like a goddamn idiot because I got taken for a sucker, I guess. And I should have realized that because he hated Fox. McFarlane hated Fox, everyone. He hated them. He hated their politics. He hated everything about him. Now he's with Disney, and the cuffs are off. He can do whatever he wants. Maybe he was waiting to get away before he did all that stuff. maybe he doesn't want to do anymore, and he's just trying to end it and wanted to get all of his little messaging in there. I didn't even do this crap on Family Guy, from what I've heard. I mean, he does stuff on there, but so I don't know. I'm just feel like a complete fool now, and I'm going to lose all of my love for the show. The only thing that can happen if it's over and he never does anything good again, and he really pisses me off for the rest of the season, which I guess I'll stick with it. I'll keep those first 2 seasons and pretend like the rest didn't happen, and that's all you can do, I guess. But I'm really upset right now. And Chris Persia, I saw that the 3rd season of Umbrella Academy came out. I sat through both seasons of that show for some dumb reason, and I don't think I can do a 3rd season. Look, I
kind of liked Umbrella Academy.
That second season
I thought
was terrible.
You thought it was terrible? The first season was definitely better. But
first one was mildly amusing at best. But God, I got talked into it by a friend of mine.
The Vietnam episode was really good. One of the characters that time travel. Was that the first season or the second season?
First.
I liked that episode. But
second season was oh my goodness. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to be watching the 3rd season there.
What does everyone think about the 3rd? Has anyone seen the 3rd season?
Well,
is it any good?
I saw my daughter just posted something up. She didn't even like it, and she.
Okay. Because I'd watched that one with the missus. We'd watched both seasons in. So that was on our to-do list after we finish Jellystone.
I guess it happens to every show. I guess this crap happens to every damn show. That some of them just start out that way, and others, I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say, "Oh, I was watching this show for a couple seasons, and the 3rd season went W word." I've seen that. I've heard that a lot from people, and I don't watch many new shows, as you know. So,
well, Netflix cancels every show after 3 seasons anyway, so pretty much, right?
Yeah. No, Chris says the first 2 seasons were. He says the first season it was close to the comic, yeah, and then my God, the second season was so.
You thought it was? I didn't think it was that bad. But
it was Mr. W Ward on steroids. So I mean, it's just. So yeah. We done with.
What about The Boys?
And never will watch that ever.
Yep. That was horrendously gory. And
The Boys,
and so emotionally violent that I could not enjoy the satire. I love Jonathan Swift. I love satire, but I found
it very violent. Yeah,
I couldn't make it past the first episode.
Oh, well, see, I never liked the comic, and I'm so sick. Like more deconstructing superheroes being evil. It got old with me a long time ago. And I have no interest in The Boys. Everyone likes it. And again, fans of that show also said the 2nd season went W. I'm trying to say that word because I know you don't like it, Rico. But yeah, so I can't get into The Boys. I hear you.
The thing is that because it's become a buzzword, I think so many different people have so many different definitions for what that word means. And I think a lot of people fail to realize that words are imbued with these accumulative connotations that we assign. So we assign this collectively, these accumulative connotations to words. And so I just don't like the accumulative connotations. And I also don't support not knowing which tense to use while you're speaking.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. Could not be reached.
That was supposed to make you laugh, boss.
Oh, no, I hear you.
We're thinking. We were thinking.
I'm sorry. It's just no, that was my fault for being. I guess I'm really down in the dumps about the Orville.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
We can stop now with it if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to, and I would just like to, for people to know that what they think and what they feel is valid, no matter which side you're on, and work that through. Stay civically engaged. If you have questions, contact a therapist. You can contact your doctor. You can talk these issues through. Make sure that you get professional support and get your information from professional people in real life. And so for me, I'm sorry to say, but that is going to close the chapter of me publicly speaking about the Orville.
Well, they did it. They're the ones who did that to us. So
Yeah, I don't want to.
And I've been printing ships all week. Now no one's gonna want their ship.
yeah, somebody will probably want
Well, I think ship rhymes with another word.
it.
Sorry.
You had to go there.
Sorry, boss.
I love it. It does. Look, I'm pissed that these people can go screw themselves. I mean, I just wish I'd never watched it now. Although I love the first 2 seasons, but
Oh, Chris has a question for Mark.
Oh yeah. Well, that one I did as an experiment. I printed all in one piece. So when I normally print them, I've been sanding one of my Orville's as we've been talking. So hopefully no one can hear the sanding.
No, we haven't. But you know what? I'm going to throw him up on the marquee. Yeah.
So this, what I've been doing, you print with a 3D printer. I'm going to do an episode on my show on how to print the Orville. And so you print it straight up like that as the printer goes. And then you print the back side. Let's see, where's the back? Then you've got these back pieces. You print that straight up. So what I did with this chrome chip, I printed that all in one piece straight up. So from the tail up. So, or actually I could show it'll take 2 seconds. I can show it on my screen if anyone's interested. Let me, so I decided to paint that one chrome, and another one I'm kind of sanding the heck out of it, because with 3D printing, you've got to really, it's really rough. So it's not like a model kit when you get a model kit. So you really got to sand the heck out of it. Yeah. Well, I got to pull up my tab here with the picture. Let me remote into my computer that has it. Yeah.
Max Redstone, I'm with you. At least Beavis and Butthead didn't let me down.
Just let me go to.
After you do this, we got Tripwire.
Oh yeah, Tripwire. Yeah.
So I'm Tripwire. I don't see Hungry Boy though. Hungry Boy was that? I think did I see?
Yeah, he was at
the panel. Maybe
he was at the panel. Yeah.
On. He might be working. I've been in contact with some people privately, and some people privately have told me that Hungry Boy's been talking to them about different styles and materials for their artwork. And so I think he has been having a lot of conversations online with different people. So lots of different people demanding his time, good. Learning about art and technique and things like that. And I'm very proud to announce that Hungry Boy has offered to do the cover for my paperback for my short story collection.
Wow.
So we've been speaking in private about the contents of the stories so that he can get an idea. And he is incredibly professional. Working with him, it's unbelievable. You can definitely tell that this person has a great deal of experience in the professional comic book industry. And he's a remarkable human being. So I love him very much. And I know that he is working on art. He's teaching, he's offering his time free to people, like people. I'm not saying that that's what he's doing. Don't go to Hungry Boy and say, give me lessons. I'm just saying that I know behind the scenes that he is a mentor. He's a friend. He's a very kind person. And he's doing work for me just because he cares about me and I care about him, and he's pretty fab. So he's not here, but he's busy.
Yep. Great guy. Shout out to Hungry Boy. Yep.
He might pop
so
in.
this is
Shout out to
this is this is a base for the ship that I'm printing. So it's got kind of tough to see, but that's the Orville symbol with a spot to put the stand through, because right now I'm using a Starfleet stand. And then here you can do, I have these time lapses. So let's see if I go, I can show, let's see, here's the complete Orville. So as this is, I'm not sure how good the quality of this video is, but I use a Raspberry Pi with the program Octoprint, so it can control your 3D printer. So this is printing the whole Orville from the base up. So it came out pretty good, I think. The back wasn't as detailed, but with anything with 3D printing, it's very rough. So you've got to do a ton of sanding and to get a smooth finish. So that's where the work is. But it's a lot of fun. And Tom Constantino actually retweeted my picture of the Orville today, which is pretty cool. The 3D model that I did.
Yeah.
So
Let's
was
hope the
cool.
company doesn't come after you thereafter.
Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe I won't
Right.
tweet out the review tonight.
You tweeted
might
it
have
out,
been,
and now all their attorneys are looking over
Yeah.
all of their
he
paperwork.
might have
and-
wanted. He might have been doing that to drop dime on you.
Yeah. No.
Scary.
You can 3D print pretty much anything, but yeah. So this is all that what you're seeing here. These are all the supports that go up to, because when you 3D print, the ship has got to stand, straight up. So those are all the supports that are on the on that ship as it prints, and then you'll kind of start to look like the Orville a little bit. But yeah, it's it's jumping all over the place, but you can kind of see the back end taking place. But there's a lot of wasted plastic as it prints. So yeah, I got to do an episode on
That's going to be
how to
so
3D
cool.
how to 3D print this. So someone did this print did the design on Thingiverse. Did a great job with this, but so it takes this took about 16 hours to print, I think, last night.
Wow.
So it's not fast. So
No, it's definitely slow. Even though you have it, you have the time lapse preview. Pleasant Valley Picker, I totally agree. I watched Westworld season 1. I was enamored, and then the season 2, I was baffled and immediately stopped watching. It just wasn't good. And Chris Persia, I love you. You were such a great friend to me, to Clobby, to Mark, to everyone you know. And thank you so much for your support. You will never know what it means to me to have your guys' support. You guys are so important to me, and I am so grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, and season 3 was just I was like, what with Westworld, like what the heck is going on?
Yeah,
with
what
season
happened
3?
there?
Season 3, I mean, season 2 was not great, but season 3 was like, who am I even rooting for in this episode?
Yeah.
Let the machines win. I mean,
who's the
season
bad
3
guy?
there was no, yeah.
But do you see why Clobby and I always talk about that? It's like they're obsessed with like grooming the public to root for the villain, to root for the evil incarnate. If you could have the devil and make people cheer for the devil, they'll find a way in season 2 or 3.
Yeah.
They don't like heroes.
Well, I
No,
mean, the old
they
days,
hate heroes.
in the old days, Hollywood, you always had to have a hero. It was, I think Chinatown was one of the first movies that really had that anti-hero, the Nicholson movie, which is a classic. But before then, you had to have a definite hero. They had all kinds of morality codes and rules where they're a bad guy couldn't get away with something. If they did anything.
Well, I call that hope. You know what I call that? HOPE, hope. And when you start turning evil people into the protagonist, when you start turning the evil incarnate into the thing that people, especially children, aspire to, you're quite rotten deep in your bones, aren't you?
Yeah. So in pop culture, don't bother with season 3 of Westworld.
Don't do it.
The first episode's out this season. I don't know if it's any good or not, but the third season was really bad. But I have a good friend who loves the show and just really loves everything about it. So for certain people, that's their jam and they love it. But
they love it. Yeah. Pop Culture says back, man, what happened to our heroes? Laughing out loud. Listen, Pop Culture Republic. There was a point when I was actually going to start publishing stuff for free to the internet. I was going to publish on Medium, and I was just going to publish an open article about what I thought of them doing that thing with that Cruella de Vil. I mean, I grew up in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of Cruella de Vil, I think of a woman who owns a puppy mill, who breeds Dalmatians and skins them alive to turn them into fur coats and furniture and accessories. And they took one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood, one of the cutest redhead, sweet girls, and turned her into that horrible, horrible creature, and somehow made a show out of it. And you know, I don't normally judge things I haven't seen, but I will tell you this: the semiotics were so jarring to me. They were so morally bankrupt, so ethically, so void of ethics, that I couldn't even, I didn't even want to click on it. I thought, this is what little girls are going to look up to now. A little girl's going to look up and say, you know, oh, Cruella de Vil, she's beautiful. I want to grow up and be just like her. It's really something. And, you know, Clobby talks about it a lot more than I do, but I'm keen on the things he says about that. And I back him up 100%.
Thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker, Cardinal Sid. Appreciate you, buddy. Phil, Gil, I hope you're doing well tonight, buddy. It's good to see you. Thank you.
Hey, Cardi.
Good to see you there, brother.
Thanks, Cardinal Sid. Yep.
Well, we can do a little tripwiring.
Let's tripwire.
Oh, Chris has a question here. He's asking White Star from Babylon 5.
That's it, yeah. You like that ship, Chris? The White Star?
Let me take a look.
He's asking you to commission one.
Yeah.
You need to get to work. And Larry, I love you, honey. I totally agree. I'm with you, Larry. I'm going to say your name thrice, not just twice, because of what a wonderful gentleman you are. Larry! Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yeah, that probably could be done. I'm looking at the, you know, certain designs are really tough, but I'm sure. I mean, I'm going to check Thingiverse right now and see if they've got that. Yeah,
I like the Star
and
Furies
you can go
on that
Star
show.
Furies. Yeah,
yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, and the other thing that'll cheer you up to Clobbering Times is, even though we're going to violate our action figure moratorium, is McFarlane Toys has come out with the Superpowers collection again. They're redoing.
They're going to look like.
Yeah, they do. They've got the Superman look.
So
incredible.
That makes me sad. That's gonna be expensive.
No, new ones. So you can. They're reproducing, but they won't be expensive. What, $20 or?
That's expensive.
Well, I mean,
I hear you. It is a good thing.
No,
it's cool that they're doing
but if you try to buy the old ones, that'll be.
Oh no! Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
it's going to piss off people who own the old ones.
Oh yeah, but of course the old ones will be worth it.
Well, let's get to Tripwire because I think Clobby is exhausted from the ConCon, and I would like to make sure that he eats.
No. I'm fine. Let's see here. You rock, and you're the best. Again, I really am bummed out about this Orville thing. I don't even know if I want to go review it tomorrow, but I'll go do it with Loki in the morning. Okay, Tripwire.
Let's do Tripwire because I need to get you out of your chair. You've been working all day, and you got to get out of your chair, babe.
I'm fine. We're good. Let's see here. All right, this is a great look. He's one of my favorite artists. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind him at 30. But he's not quite better than some of the people he's in front of. That's Dave Gibbons. I love Dave Gibbons. So he's in a fine spot. No real complaining. I just complaining about the rest of the list, of course. And, he's done a lot of great stuff. Now, I guess if Steve's here, he's going to moan because he hates him.
Why does Steve hate him?
He just thinks he's lousy. He just thinks he's a terrible artist.
I gotcha.
He's always thought so, I think. So he did early stuff, of course, up for 2000 AD and stuff. But I really, when he first went to DC at Green Lantern, I didn't think I didn't like him too much. So I remember when I was reading about all the preliminary stuff on Watchmen, that I wasn't thrilled he was going to be the artist, and then he sold me with Watchmen. I like this Rogue Trooper, which you see here for 2000 AD.
Okay.
Yep.
And so I'm fine with him being at this spot on the list. Doesn't mean I put him in front of a Perez or or Ramita or Wally Wood or any of that stuff. But
that's what you got to remember too, right? Yeah, no, he's above rated ahead of.
But that's not his fault.
It's not his fault. Yeah.
That's not his fault. Yeah.
But I like this Doctor Who stuff that he did for
Is that Doctor Who being attacked at a YMCA?
Could be.
That was just supposed to make you giggle.
Bruce Banner's been attacked at the YMCA. I tell you the story, but I couldn't tell you on the air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't go there.
Kidding.
No. Okay. Well, let's not.
But he started in the States. One of his first American works was on Green Lantern for a while, which was good. And then he made a name for himself with arguably probably the most famous comic of all time. Watchmen. I'm the ultimate Watchmen fanatic. I always have been. I hate the trouble it caused, but it's a masterpiece of storytelling.
Okay,
It's rightfully on the. It was in the top. It was a Time Magazine's top 100 most important pieces of literature of the 20th century. It was the only one of only 2 comic books that was.
Wow.
And they've college courses are taught on Watchmen, and storytelling are taught with Watchmen, and I love his storytelling with it. I love the story. This is a masterpiece. It's never been touched. The movie falls far short of this comic. If there's an ultimate Watchmen fanatic out there, I'll challenge anybody on it any day. I have every single piece of collectability about it from back then.
And you even have the Ultimate Watchmen book.
I have Ultimate. I have all the hardcovers, all the portfolios. I may read it like once. I almost average like reading it once or twice a year ever since it came out in 1986, 87. And I was the first person in the world, probably, to cosplay Rorschach at Dallas Fantasy Fair in 1986.
God, I love you, Clobby.
It's bad, isn't it? It's pretty bad, but I love
No,
it.
I love
his
you.
art. I love you. But I love Gibbons. Love his art. I have no problem where he's placed. So yeah, I wonder what Hunger.
Oh, I had that Raggedy Ann. How many people grew up in the 70s had that Raggedy Ann?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I had that Raggedy Ann and Andy.
I had an Andy, not an Ann, just to clarify.
Oh, I had them both.
My sister had Raggedy Ann. Yep.
Huh. Wow. So yeah, he's great. There he is. There's Rorschach. I cosplayed that in 1986.
Gorgeous. I bet you were
I did not do a great job on the well, Claude helped me. But yeah,
Oh,
I had
He airbrushed your face. I heard it took forever to get off.
No, he didn't airbrush it. He drew the marks a lot. And then when I sweat through it, it ran the damn colors. Later they actually did come out with a Rorschach mask.
Oh, wow.
The Rorschach it's the ink blot that keeps changing on the face.
Yes.
Of course, that had to be.
It's an amazing idea.
It was someone actually made a mask of it.
Wow.
They got it to work in real life. I mean, actually change how they got to move around.
Yeah, they had one. Hey, Cardinalson, you got one, dude. Let me tell you something. It's always okay for you to be wrong with me, man. I'm somebody that will treat you right. Because he said he thought the movie worked better than the ending. The horrible, idiotic movie ending is not better than the comic book, dude. But no beating on you at all. Dude, you're allowed to say that. You're not and by the way, Cardinalson, you're not the only one that has made that preposterous claim. But it's
you will not be flogged here, Cardi. You will not be flogged.
I used to think that until you schooled me.
What's that?
I used to think that until you schooled me. Yeah, because I used to like that ending until you explained to me why it didn't work, and you ruined it for me.
Yeah, that ending in the movie is moronic idiocy. But you know what? Cardinal,
I did like that movie.
I like the movie. I like things about the movie.
Yeah,
I don't hate
the Black
movie.
Freighter editions is great. God, with the
I don't hate the movie.
Yeah,
but it's popcorn. It's a piece of like what would be the good example? The comic book is filet mignon, and the movies like just
roast beast,
rancid popcorn.
Oh well, that's even worse.
Movies are it's good. It's popcorn now.
Yeah.
All right, Maximum Redstone. Have a good one, buddy.
Maximum
care, Max.
Redstone.
The movie is
good night, Max.
The movie is fluff. It looks good. Hey, Decepticon, good to see you, man.
Yay, Sean!
Hey, Decepticon.
Good to see you there, bro.
And Malin Ackerman is wowzers.
No, I love popcorn, Jill. I'm just saying it's a popcorn flick. They turned something with extraordinary substance and depth into something that was just because Hack Snyder's a hack. I mean, it visually looked really good. Some of the casting is fantastic. He screwed the ending of the story, and he made some really bad choices along the way. It's a fun movie. It's not fun. It's pretty down.
The comedian is well done in that movie.
As
what the actor, who's the actor
says,
yeah.
Jeffrey D. Morgan's great as the comedian. I don't think Snyder fully understood Watchmen. He just thought he did. Thank you, sir. That is exactly right. Thank you, Jill.
Sean.
Hey, Gwagnar.
Gwagnar.
Hey, Jill. Thank you so much for the 149 super sticker. I can't see it, but thank you.
Thanks, sweetness.
So yeah, Dave Gibbons is number 30 on the list of Tripwire.
Oh, it's popcorn. It's a popcorn sticker, just so you know.
Thank you. I love popcorn.
Very clever. Very clever.
Yeah. Herm, I would say to Dave Gibbons for being on the list, and we'll see what the
That's
next
a
one is.
Watchmen
But
joke.
yeah, that's our
Inside Watchmen joke. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Herm. Yeah,
Herm. Yeah.
Herm. But yes, by the way, Claude and I won the Dallas Fantasy Fair 1986 costume contest.
Yay!
I was Rorschach.
Way to go.
And he was Captain Carnage. And Captain Carnage, the thing about it is, we never see Captain Carnage in the comic book. Raquel is a scene at the beginning of the comic book where, because Watchmen was about deconstructing superheroes, of course. It was about taking care but it was more like, what would it really be in the real world if people did dress up as superheroes and stuff? There's one super being, but everybody else is just people in ridiculous costumes. And they were having a converse, former superheroes, Dan Dreberg and Julie Jaspesnik were having a conversation. So they were talking about the old days of being superheroes before it was outlawed. She said, "You remember that guy? What's his name? Captain? What was it? Captain? The guy who used to follow people around and get beat up. He wasn't really a supervillain. He just dressed that way so people would beat him up." She goes, "Oh yeah, Captain Carnage. Oh yeah, he chased me around. He always used to." She said, "He used to chase me around, trying to get me to beat him up." And Night Owl said, Dan said, "Yeah, he did that to me too." I said, "Get lost, dude." She said, "Well, whatever happened to him?" She said, "Well, he tried it on Rorschach, and Rorschach dropped him down an elevator shaft."
Yeah.
Rorschach's not nice.
Yeah. Don't
So,
mess with
yes,
Rorschach. Yeah.
We did.
Had no
But we did
patience.
that. We did that on this. We did that when we cosplayed that. The only 2 issues of the 12-issue maxi series had been out at that point. And so I'm pretty sure I'm the only guy who I'm sure I did it first in the world. Actually, I have no way to prove that. Just saying. 2 issues in.
I don't know. The thing that modern people don't realize is that cosplay was not. It never used to be so popular.
No,
Like,
it was
now
just
it's
a contest.
Yeah, people go to like Party City now and they buy a costume and they're like, "I'm a cosplayer." So although it sounds ridiculous that you would say that you were the first to do it, you might actually be the first to do it, because back then there were very few of us who were willing to get dressed up like Vulcanians. There were very few of us who were willing to get dressed up like Bashi warriors. There were very few of us who would get dressed up like Rorschach. It's just the truth. I mean, and that's hard for people to fathom now, because everybody and their dog, literally everyone and their dog is cosplaying now. So I wouldn't, you might be the first, boss.
I could, but we only won because Claude, he had to make up the costume. He was Captain Carnage, and we went up there, and I had to be Rorschach. I had to break his fingers in front of the audience like Rorschach does in the comic. And he went out there and did a John Lovitz ad. He did a stand-up as Captain Carnage, and the audience loved it. It was his performance that won us the contest.
Oh.
Nice.
You know what we got? You know what we won?
What did you win?
A copy of Watchmen.
No.
$100.
Well, there was no. There were only 2 issues out at that point. Yeah. We won tickets to a movie premiere coming out the next week called Aliens, but we couldn't go see it because we didn't live in Dallas.
Oh no! I hope you sold them to someone.
No, I don't know what we did with it. I can't remember.
Oh.
But I still have a picture of me as Rorschach somewhere. I have to dig on that one.
Great job,
That'd be cool.
Minimus.
Minimus won it though. He put it over the top with his act that he did. Everyone really enjoyed it. Captain Carnage.
Our other resident comic expert and one of my favorite people on the internet, Sean. He says Martha Washington was a weirdo comic. Thought it was dangerous to read it as a kid, which is the best. Comments from the Mark and Captain?
I tried to get into it, man. Miller writing it and Gibbons art. Of course I was going to buy it. I never really got all that interest. I read it the first series, Sean, but never got into it too much. Mark, I don't know if you
never read that yet.
Yeah, not really my bag, but I bought it, of course, because it was Miller and Gibbons.
Yeah, never
But
never
what are you gonna
picked
do?
that one up. Yeah.
Yes.
Anti-derivative Jill. When I had to work during a comic convention and I could not go cosplay, I went to teach my class as a grammar commissioner, and I was dressed in a full police outfit, like a motorcycle police officer, like Chips,
You're
and I had a
arresting
little
everyone.
and I had a little badge that said Commissioner Briggs on it, and I taught my class. Of course, I had the zipper all the way up to my neck, but I took some pictures with the zipper a little bit down. But my beautiful baby Maya, my Chihuahua, who passed away when she was like 13 years old.
Mhm.
I dressed her up as a bee so that she could be the spelling bee. So she was in her little bee costume, and I took pictures of her as my spelling bee officer, and I was the grammar commissioner. So literally dressed my dog up in cosplay. I know I'm a
It's so
weirdo.
cute.
I'm sorry. That's on Instagram if you
Hey,
want to
we're
see
all
it.
weird here, right?
That's why we're friends, geeks and nerds.
Right?
Geeks,
on.
nerds, dorks, we're all here together.
Yes, sir.
When I was playing poker with some of my buddies this week, we have an annual like summertime poker game, and some of them said they were lurking in my channel watching the show, which is fun, and Sunday Night Geekery. And then we were talking about Hawkeye, and I started explaining like what I didn't like about the series, and I'm like, oh, well, really, it wasn't Hawkeye that killed the it was Kingpin. I'm going to all these details, and my friend is like, wow. It's like this is like being on your show. What a dissertation. It's like, so one friend is like my good buddy Chris. He's like, I'm at a certain geek level. He's like, Mark and his friends are like at another entire level. He's like, I'm not so sure if I make a comment. He's like, I got to triple check it to make sure I'm correct. Yeah.
That's veracity, folks. That's veracity. You always want to be known for veracity. And I love the replies. I love you, Chris. Love you, Jill. You guys are the best.
Oh, and I did win $10 that night too, which was good.
Oh, that's all.
That's good. There you go. That's half an hour.
And plus a pizza donation too. We always buddy buys pizza, so I did win actually $25, but I gave him 15 for pizza. So yeah.
I want pizza now.
Sorry.
Yeah,
it was a horrible pizza. It wasn't a good pizza. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna order a pizza.
Oh, you got pizzas around there?
Yeah.
Pizza places that serve that late?
Yes.
Wow, that's late out there, isn't it?
Well, you have to think about the fact that in the wintertime, Canadians have nowhere to go. So we have to have basements, we have to have pool tables, we have to be good at darts, we have to be able to go to the pub and not get inebriated. You have to be able to go to the pub and actually be a human and watch the game and visit and maybe play crib or some type of backgammon or something. And pizza, you gotta have pizza late, man. You gotta have pizza late.
Well, it works for me. There's never a bad time to have pizza.
No.
But it's just the ones that
What's your favorite kind of pizza, Mike?
It's pretty easy. I need to have double extra cheese on it with in fact we have a place called Lit Pizza that I like to go to. It's like like Subway, you go in there and they make the pizza for you, then they fire blast it for a couple of minutes.
Ooh.
I like thinner crust, and I get extra cheese, red sauce, basic red sauce, of course.
Yes, me too.
And it's just got to have a lot of pepperoni and some little bacon sprinkled on there, and that's it. No filth on there, nothing else. My son, he gets
no fish, no fungus.
All over it. Now at this place, I don't do it anywhere else. At this place, I get this this kind of honey, some kind of honey that they put on there. That's pretty good, but yeah, habanero honey, or whatever the hell it is.
Ooh.
So yes, I'm very simple.
God, I love Louisiana.
Oh, you'd like that? Well, that's everywhere though. These new places, these fire blasted pizza places are
Yeah.
popping up everywhere.
Well, they're all copying us from Connecticut here because we have the best pizza in Connecticut. So
really?
Pepe's and Sally's, yes, in New Haven, yep.
Cal, no pineapple, no sir.
Yep. So if you go to Wooster Street in New Haven, it's the world's best pizza, and that's where everyone else copied that pizza with a wood-fired pizza. So you're not going to like this one. Well, they have all kinds of amazing pizza, but My favorite is the white clam pizza, which was voted the best. They won a contest for best pizza in America. So it's garlic and oil and clams. Oh, it's so good.
Are you trying to make
pizza?
Clobby dry heave?
That's not pizza.
But then again, you can go there and you can get their sauce is so good. So even just like their, just their sausage pizza, or just their, pepperoni pizza, the sauce, and it comes out on these big, huge trays right out of the oven. There's no plate. You don't get plates.
Oh, I don't mind. Bring your books with you, Minimus.
Bring your books, yeah.
Bring your books. I will take all of your books, leave them on my porch. I'll show you around. I'll be your buddy, but I'm leveraging the books here. Mark, I think your clam pizza sounds disgusting.
Oh, it's so good.
Clam.
Hey, Paul Newman. Paul Newman was there that night eating white clam pizza with me, so I got to see
disgusting.
Paul Newman.
Really, Paul Newman?
No one in the
was
audience.
There, in the restaurant with me. Yep.
No one in the audience is going to be shocked to learn that I like the exact same pizza as Clobby. The only difference is I like fresh tomato on the side, and then I put Parmesan cheese on it. But I also like the plain marinara, very light marinara. I really love the thin crust. I absolutely love extra cheese. So you start with cheese on top of the marinara, then extra pepperoni, then crumbled bacon, then more cheese. Put that in the oven, and then I'll put it in my face.
Pineapple. What is this pineapple people?
This pizza is just so. I mean,
anything
at Pepe's. I mean, you don't have to get the white clam, but anything you get there is just, and it's thin pizza. It's just phenomenal. I mean, if you like food, oh my god! If you like, I'm a New Englander. If you like seafood. And the garlic's to die for.
We need a poll. How many people in the audience would eat this nasty white dough
I gotta show
with white
pictures of
sauce
Sally's.
and sick clams on it? We need a poll. Put up a poll.
Someone wants to know if the jiggling Spider-Man is that motorized or just perpetual motion?
That's actually solar. So Spidey's saving the planet.
He has a nickname. We call him Restless Legs Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Cal. Yeah, he's got one called Blaze Pizza. They got a bunch of different names for him.
Yeah, they have a bunch of different. There's a Batman. There's a Superman.
Fire blasted pizza.
The chat's disgusted by your clam pizza.
No, clam pizza.
Anyone who wants to come to New Haven, I'll treat anyone who wants to.
Are you? This can't show this filth on here.
Well, I'm gonna just show the pizzas. I mean, you got to look at the pizzas. How good these are.
God damn it, I'm hungry, man.
I mean, look how it's just wonderful.
Wait a minute, though. That one's got too much. What is that on there?
That's an extra sauce one. That's a sauce one. There's a pepperoni. Oh, it's the world's best pizza. It's the world's best pizza.
No.
Well, you get whatever you want on it, but it's all the crust is just so good in the sauce, and it's world famous. I mean, I mean, it's just
that looks okay.
Oh, it's just so. I mean, this is just this.
That's nasty. What's that?
That's weird shit right there.
And why so much sauce? What's wrong with you?
That's a lot of sauce, dude. You're gonna burn my guts
No, but you
out.
can ask for extra sauce or less. You tell them how you want it.
I'm saying that is a lot. Why would you eat that much sauce?
Here's the white clam.
And not only that, it would make all of the toppings slip right off the pizza. So all you get is lava face, and you lose all your toppings.
There's a pot of glass one right there.
Yeah, that's the originated here. Yeah, little Worcester Street. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Little Italy. Yep. Oh, it's just so. I got to take Nick there someday.
Sean!
Yeah.
Look at this. Some of these pizzas
look like a horde. Oh dear, oh dear.
They do, yeah.
I love you, Sean. Oh, I love Sean so much.
I need
so right.
I don't think
so. This place is 100 years old. So the kicker is like one time we would go there. You'd wait for the first seatings at 5 o'clock. You'd try to get there at 4. And the worst possible night was where we got there at 4. We're waiting online, and it's an hour till it opens, and everyone goes to sit, and we're the next people online. I'm like, oh. So we had to watch at 5 o'clock. So we had to watch everyone order, then eat their pizzas, and then leave. So it was like 2 hours wait. But then it was the world's best pizza I'd ever had. And Paul Newman was in there that night. So we got to see Paul Newman. My wife, Maureen, is like, I'm seeing blue eyes from across the room. She's like, could that be Paul Newman?
Is that
And you
it,
look,
right?
and sure enough, it was Paul. You
Wow.
know, the eyes, his eyes, you could see the blue of his eyes from across. It's a small little restaurant. I didn't bother him. But he was in the back. It's a small little place when you go in there. And there's all Frank Sinatra's been there, Bill Clinton's been there, everyone's been there.
What is that?
That yeah, I'm sorry we make you hungry there, Kel. It's their fault. I mean,
We're all gonna go eat.
Yeah.
We're gonna
All right,
we're
I'm all
gonna
treating.
get out of
I'm
here.
treating everyone to salad. I mean,
I can't get a pizza this later.
We're gonna get out of here
so
anyways
good.
because Clobby has been in his
No, we're not
chair
in a hurry.
working
No,
all
I'm not in
day.
a hurry, but we can. Yeah, we'll get out in a second. But no big
Yeah.
hurry. You know, I'm fine. Let's answer Oliver.
See how big the pizzas are, though.
That's huge.
Yeah,
got
so we
pizzas
went
there.
there one time. I was there with 3 guys, and we ordered 4 larges. And the waitress looked at us like 4 larges. Like, you don't understand. We're in college. We haven't had good food for 3 months.
So you order clams on pizza and you get 4 of them.
No, I got 1 clam one. Yeah. If you like garlic, the white clam is to die for. I can't do the Billy Crystal, but
No, I can't do.
I got to do the
clams on
mutton,
pizza.
lettuce, and tomato. Yeah. It's
Mm.
if you either like it, or you don't like it, but it's just
That's right.
Yeah.
but it's if you end up in Connecticut, New Haven, it's
I
Well, I want
respect
that.
you. You
Street.
like
I'd go
sea
there.
bugs. You're a sea bug person.
Yeah,
All the
just don't tell
bugs from the
Sam
sea go in your face.
yeah. But the sauce, I can't describe it. How good the sauce is. That's the thing. It's just-
Crispercia. Mark, that's not a pizza. That's a table for 2. Look at this.
Yeah, right.
Putting it up. Did you see that? Oh, it's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Chris.
Oh,
Well,
God. And I want to go there now.
Oh my goodness, man, you gotta go there. Oliver Belamonte asks, what's it? Who were your best celebrities to appear on ST in Star Trek TV films? Stephen Hawking, Famke Johnson, Kirstie Alley, Joan Collins, Terry Hatcher, Kelsey Grammer were my favorite celebrities. Well, those are all fine choices.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, who was with Wesley? What's her name?
Ashley Judd. She's a
Ashley
nut
Judd.
job, but she was hot, very
Yeah.
cute back then.
Do you have her? You didn't buy her comic, did you?
No,
What?
You heard about her comic. I can't even
God,
repeat what it's
dude.
about, but yeah,
no, you can't.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, and someone gave me 3
Screwed.
copies of it because they're in
What?
media, and she's like, I had got 3 of them. It's like, here, she gave them to me.
Oh, Jesus.
That's crazy.
Everyone in the chat wants you sent to the agony booth.
Oh, come on. You love these pizzas. These are the world's best pizzas.
Claude
You
says
don't have to eat the sea bugs. You don't have to. You can just get sausages if you want. It's okay.
Claude says F. Murray Abraham. What did Murray ever do to you? Oh, the actor. Oh, yeah, sorry. Oops.
Right.
Larry
Couldn't resist.
says sea monkeys. Larry wants you to put sea monkeys on your.
Sea monkeys. He probably does eat those.
He probably,
He probably
does.
does. Yeah. I don't know, Oliver. I love Joan Collins. At the time, she wasn't considered like a big superstar, but she just blew up into one. But I mean, I don't know. I love Famke, and of course, who doesn't love Stephen Hawking? That was like not
That
like
was
he was
amazing.
part of the episode. He was like a guest appearance. But those are some good ones there, sir.
I also thought it was neat that Mick Fleetwood
Right.
appeared as himself.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But if I were to pick a favorite again, if they weren't a big superstar when they were on, and I think you're talking about somebody who was already a big superstar, and we're on, because other words like Ricardo Montalban's the greatest, but he wasn't really a superstar till later.
Right.
So if it's someone who was already a superstar and they made an appearance on there, or a big name at least, I don't know. That's a good question.
Chris
Yes,
has a nice one here. Yvonne Craig.
Ryan Craig. Yeah, but that was right before she became super popular. But I love her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about, it doesn't count, but D.
Frank
Kelly.
Gorshin? Frank Gorshin. What?
Yeah, when I saw D. Kelly on TNG, I almost fell out of my chair.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I was like, my friends were all cheering. Like, what are you geeks cheering at? Like, Dr. McCoy's on. That was such a great part of Encounter and Farpoint. So that was a nice touch.
You know what? That Christian Slater appearance happened, right? Decepticon?
I do.
Because his mommy made it happen.
His mom, right?
That's right. His mom was the casting director.
Yeah.
It helps to have
You
friends
know,
in high places,
and
and he was good in it. I mean,
he
it's
got
just
the
a
line
couple
wrong, though.
lines.
Sulu says, "You have hearing problems, Mister. You have acting problems, Mister." Yes. Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Christian Slater, except that after he played in Heathers, he was funny in it. In Heathers, he was purposely doing a Jack Nicholson type of thing, and then he never stopped. Every movie he was ever in, he talked the same exact way.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Susan Oliver was incredibly sexy. Larry, I absolutely loved her.
Now, Frank Gorshin was a bona fide, pretty big star when he was on Trek because he had already been on Batman. He was in Batman. He was big on Batman at the time, and a big comedian. So, that was pretty, But let's see, the original series. I don't know if anyone went on the original show who were like a huge household name superstar, but that didn't happen. Batman was the only TV show where really big names from movies were doing guest appearances. And they all did that because they did it for their kids. They wanted, their kids wanted them to be on. They're like, but later, of course, it's different. TNG, like you said, it had Mick Fleetwood can't really count. You can't see him.
I still think it's hysterical because
It's funny,
everyone
yeah.
always tries to use that as a trivia question.
Sure.
And they try and always use it as a gotcha with me. They're always like, who is the one person who appeared on Star Trek as themselves? And I always say, Mick Fleetwood. Just kidding. Stephen Hawking. It's because I'm a jerk. Sorry.
Nothing wrong with that. So Stephen Hawking would probably be the only one that appeared as himself, right?
Yes. Stephen Hawking is the only
one.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. But there were some people who've been on Trek that went on to be bigger later. Mm-hmm. Obviously, again, the great Ricardo Montalban. Mm-hmm. Hello there, Zachariah. Or as
George
Takei used to say, Ricardo Montalban.
Zachariah.
Yeah, he'd been in some movies, but I mean, he wasn't
as big of a star.
He'd been in some stuff, and then it was really Fantasy Island that made him like a household name.
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite shows growing up. I absolutely love Fantasy Island. It's one of those shows I would never ever miss. And Cardinal Sin is yelling, "Terry Gar!"
Yeah, but he became big later, fairly big. Yeah, sure.
Well, Famke became pretty big after that as well, and I thought that she is just absolutely gorgeous. I love her in that. Oh, Andy Masterson is here. Welcome,
Andy. What's up,
Andy
buddy?
Masterson.
Deception says, I'm sure if Star Trek went to the 4th season, Sammy Davis Jr. would turn up as a mischievous, godlike entity or something. You never know. He popped up on All in the Family.
Yeah.
Joe says,
he kisses Archie Bunker.
That was hilarious.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I am watching the Batman animated series with my kids, and then kind of flipped when Donna McDowell showed up as Doctor. Yeah, she played Dr. Leslie Tompkins. She did. That's right. Well, a lot of big names did voices on Batman animated series. I mean, you name it, and they've been on there. Not just Mark Hamill or someone like that. You had, oh my God, Roddy McDowell, Michael Ansara. You said Donna McDowell. A bunch of Trek people have done voices on there. Michael Dorn's done a lot of cartoon voice work.
Yeah.
Dude, what are you a compulsive enabler?
Yeah, I'm just trying to cheer you up. So
when's that coming up?
That's a leak, but it's new for 22. So hopefully,
God,
with a few months.
Damn it!
So that looks like a must buy to me.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not bad for $20. I mean,
no.
Where's the cape attached? The cape doesn't even look attached.
Well, this is a prototype.
That's different.
I think so.
The cape doesn't have that usual, like, what is it, that band thing that goes around his neck?
Yeah. The gold band or whatever. So here there's Superman, and of course I finally get a Supermobile. They're gonna do a Supermobile, which is gonna be awesome, and they're gonna do like an 89-ish Batwing for the figures.
Dude, you need another house.
Well, toys need a house.
Do you know what I mean? Like poor Maureen.
But these are small at least, yeah. And it says right here in the packaging, collect them all. So I must collect them all.
You are commanded to collect them all.
So, but that Superman looks so nice. I'm pretty sure I have the original.
The cape looks different from the original.
Yeah.
Somewhere
but
Maureen
this is
is
a prototype
rolling her
leak,
eyes.
so.
She's like, collect them all. Collect them all. Head desk. Head
Dark
desk,
side.
Head desk.
Yeah. They're going to have Dark Side.
They didn't have Dark Side in the old ones.
Nope. So that's a new one. but they're doing it in the style. And then I guess
Not sure I like the gold stuff all over them.
yeah. So this is but it's a leak that's
I have a
been
better
going
Dark
on the
Side figures
interwebs.
than that.
Yeah.
But
So I
still, that's
guess,
pretty cool. What else we got? Any other ones?
Well, it's gonna be Batman, but then if they said if these sell, they're gonna. McFarlane said they're gonna have quite a few. You know, that keep the line going. So, but yeah, I mean, that's a classic.
I love Superpowers toys.
Yeah, the Superpowers, and that was Kirby art on these, right? And Kirby, yeah,
Kirby did the designs for the and he did the art in those little mini comics and stuff, and he did the regular comics as well. This was Jeanette Kahn, who I bitched about a lot, but I was very happy. She and Paul Levitz and some others got together at DC, knowing how DC and others screwed him over and let him actually, but he was getting toward the end of his career. $199.
Well, this is the original. Yeah, that's the original. See with
that's the original
cape.
right there.
Yeah, it's an original one. Yeah,
Yeah, you can tell what the cape.
I was trying to find. Yeah.
So yeah, they threw Kirby a bone on that one, which was good.
So I guess yeah. So here's the original Superpowers collection, which is the classic. These are great figures. Yeah, they were so well done. Yeah,
ain't cheap, sir.
Oh, they did have a Dark Side.
I
don't remember that. It's Series 2 and Superpowers.
Let me see. They probably did. I think they did. I don't have any Superpowers figures back then.
Yeah,
I wasn't buying figures. I bought some for my nephew so I could mess around with them. But
yeah,
I wasn't collecting toys at that time. I was in my early 20s, and I was out of buying toys. I didn't start buying toys until I regressed into an adolescent back in the 90s.
Yeah, right. we regressed. Yeah.
Not that I was growing up that much before, but you know what I mean.
Oh my God, I love you so much.
I can't. Until I just completely de-evolved.
Oh my God.
Trying to find a picture of the Batman.
The Green Lantern is probably the best figure they did.
There's a bunch of videos out, I guess.
Pick a best one.
I don't know if this is the. Oh, that's the old one. I'm just trying to find, any new pictures. But
a few years ago, I was at my nephew's house, and he pulled out a bunch of his old toys that I gave him I used to buy him toys and stuff like that. And he didn't have many of the Superpowers left, but he had the Hawkman one left, so he gave it to me. I have that, so that's the only Superpowers figure I have now, except for maybe I think I have a Flash or something. They were fantastic.
Back there. They're great figures.
I want the Hall of Justice. You can never get that. McFarlane's multiverse line is 75% Batman. Yeah, what is it these days? They haven't even made a proper Wonder Woman, so I'm suspicious of this Superpowers line. Good point, Sean.
Well, we'll see what comes out. Hopefully, that Superman looked pretty good, I think, but we'll see. But I was just trying to cheer you up.
Hawkman, you did. Thank you. No, I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
And you did. You both did.
There we go.
Appreciate it. I'm fine. I didn't need cheering up. I'm just a little bummed about losing, about what's going on with the Orville and what the hell. Every other show's been screwed over. You think I'd be used to it by now, right?
Yep.
Well, this one I got hit broadside.
Well, as Sean is saying there too, everything is Batman too in DC, right? One night we were looking at the comics. We're looking at the comic. It was 75%. Was
the only thing that sells. They're dumbasses, and they're ruining that
was
too.
Batman, yeah. So
and you see, they got a new comic that's sort of like the Safe Space and all that stuff that they did before. So Gary and those guys covering that about how with some new comic with the characters with equally idiotic names. Marvel.
Oh, they're doing that again, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
Well. Number one, I know it's very late and you're tired and you need to get something to eat. And I know it's very late for Mark.
I gotta go. I gotta go get my clam pizza. Yep.
Ew. Stop.
Someday you come to Connecticut.
And I can't have pizza for like 6 months.
I'm telling you, it's awesome.
So nasty.
Oh, it's the best. Of course, the missus.
It's like that
the missus doesn't like
stuff.
it.
It's like you got eyeballs in your.
No, there's no eyeballs.
Oh, it's eyeball-y. It's like, Mark,
it's so
what's
good.
your favorite pizza?
How are we gonna torture
balls with stuff that looks like pus? Put some cheese on that. I'll have 4 of them.
Hey, tell everyone to torture. Yeah, how do we torture Mark D? Let's get him this clam pizza. But wait a minute, he seems to really like it.
Cardinal Sin.
He likes it.
The Orville
Cardinal-
model or the Orville show?
No, I think he did. He did. Cardinal Sin. I think Cardi wasn't here when we reviewed the show at the beginning. Cardinal Sin, thank you for the 199 super chat, sir. You didn't have to do that. I'm just very upset with all the political crap in the past 2 episodes. It's gone woke, and I'm very. We reviewed it and talked about it. I'm not going to review it anymore here, and Raquel's not going to review it anymore, and we're not going to talk about it. I mean, I'll talk about it, but I'm not going to review it here anymore. I'm upset with what they've done in the past 2 episodes, personally. That's just a personal thing. Not everyone agrees, I'm sure, but I didn't want to rehash it. But I was answering his question because he was nice enough to ask, and that's that for that there. So, well, shall we start?
Minimus. Yes, Pleasant Valley Picker. We're gonna make him that pizza. I'm just gonna put it up on the marquee. So this is what we're gonna use for your white sauce, and then Minimus is gonna put this on.
I won't eat that.
So gross. Sean's like, just put on some anchovies, man. Be normal. Put on anchovies, not clams.
Was that on the dinner table in Temple of Doom? Yeah.
And now BC's like, what is it? What's next for Mark? Escargot pizza with 7 million question marks?
No, we don't want to get Snail Messiah upset. So yeah.
No. You don't eat your viewers.
Don't eat your viewers. Yeah.
Sound,
you guys, you don't know what you're missing.
Oh my god,
that's good stuff. Yeah.
I'll take. No, look, I'll take your word for it. Is that okay? See, I trust you so much. I don't have to eat it myself because I know that it's wonderful.
You'll save it all for
I
me,
trust
right?
you. Yeah, I would not want to take anything from you either. You know.
You know what? Yeah. You have all that for yourself. Globby and I would never want to deny you the indulgence, the luxury.
Not only that, if I tested you and tried it myself, I would be calling you a liar.
Yeah, what if you liked
saying
it?
that I didn't take your word for it.
No, I get it.
So I can't try it now because you told me it was good. So if I go, now let me see, and then I eat it, then I'm calling you a liar, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
So.
No. This is how you get out of tasting stuff that looks like stuff that comes out of your nose. It's so
it doesn't look like that.
Wow, I needed to hear that. Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with you people? And I hear you.
How am I going to eat it now?
No, Cardi, nothing about a cancellation so far, but you never know.
Well, I haven't announced another season yet.
I may cancel myself from it. But...
Oh, happy Canada Day, everyone. Tomorrow is Canada Day.
Yeah, happy
Tell
Canada
us about
Day.
Canada Day for those who do not know. I mean, I know that is it coincidental that your Canada Day is almost the same weekend, a few days away from our Independence Day?
Well, that's the way world governments work, right? They try to get us all holidaying at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll be doing some Queen stuff. We'll be doing some fireworks. We'll be doing some burgers, fries. We'll be doing some Canadian flags, some cheering. Others may be sportsing, just generally celebrating being Canadian. And it's like Canada Day it's a big deal, and everyone's gonna have a good time.
So everyone's got the day off, right? Decepticon.
Yeah.
And I heard by the way, Decepticon on the Great J Man's channel. You guys enjoy. Oh man, I love the show you guys do on the comics, awesome comic stuff on Thursday nights because I'm sitting there it's walking down memory lane talking comics. You guys are great. They talked about that they said they're off to tomorrow. So
Chris said that it's been Canada Day for 89 minutes. Oh, you are from my neck of the woods, Chris. Just another thing you and I have in common. Oh, and I should also mention Anti-Derivative Jill is doing a show tomorrow where she's talking about Canadian authors. So all of you Canadians who would like to talk about Canadian authorship, I'm not sure if she's focusing on science fiction, science fantasy, or what she's doing, but I have been invited to the show, and you all know I'm a bit of an introvert, and it's hard for me to go and hang out on these big panels and stuff, but it's Jill. So I said yes, and I'm so honored to be invited, and I'm going to be hopping over there noon Mountain Time to talk about my stories and talk about what it's like to be an author in Canada and stuff. So it sounds interesting. That's how I'm spending my Canada Day afternoon. before we head out for the fireworks. So tune into Anti-Derivative Jill.
Fantastic. Yes, please, everyone, to go subscribe to Jill's channel. And, of course, check out her streams. She streams on Fridays. I like to show up when I can and when I'm home. And she also streams on Tuesdays, reviewing the Orville on her channel there again. So, please, there's a link to her channel in my description below.
Mm-hmm.
And many other fine channels as well.
Yep. And I hope
So
Jason goes. You know, J-Man's real name is Jason. He's an author. He's a published author. Decepticon. If you speak with Jason, would you please tell him that her show is going to be covering Canadian authors? I know Jason and his wife are active publishing authors, so they might want to tune in. Now, only if you talk to him. You know what I mean? I don't think you're a messenger or anything, Sean. But yeah, if you speak with him, let him know.
Do you have to eat craft dinner on Canadian Day or?
You mean KD?
KD, yep.
What
do you have? You said ribs or?
Yeah, we have ribs.
Or is that like a side dish?
We have burgers. A lot of people have poutine or poutine, as they say in the United States. Yep, we have poutine. We have just lots of Canadian food. I'm sure a lot of people will be making beaver tails, bear claws. There'll be a lot of Canadian food. People will be making butter tarts.
And you're yelling at me for eating clams?
No, beaver tails are gigantic donuts that are shaped like a beaver tail. They're deep fried donuts, and you pull them out and you cover them in chocolate, raspberries, strawberries, cherries, whatever you want. More chocolate, ice cream. Then you shovel it into your face.
Sounds good.
Your Muslim uncle, are you in the chat, by the way? Or, because he says that he was the chat was moving very quickly in the retro blasting stream I did earlier. He said he sent a super chat, and I read all the ones that I saw. It is possible that I missed some because I had to keep taking my eyes off the screen to do other things, and they were going really fast
on the retro blasting.
And he was asking me if I would never miss one on purpose, my friend. He just
in Iconicon or in
he just wrote me
stream tonight or in the stream.
No, Conicon, not tonight. Well, not here. Okay. The one at Conicon, of course. Obviously, I could see him here because I got Raquel here. She could see him.
Yeah.
I don't miss him here, but that chat was it had a lot of the retro blasting people, that were. I had like, for me, it was a lot of 60, almost 70 people at one point. So
it was flying by.
It was flying. I was afraid I'd missed them, and I must have missed that one. I didn't think I did. He said, and he sent me a.
Maybe next time you do that, I'll sit in silence and I'll just run the back of the show for you. I know it's like we're usually
you could star the chats or show pictures.
And the thing is that he's hosting. There are lots of people in the panel with and everybody wants to showcase their ideas, and then there's discussion, and so he was the MC plus he was the guest speaker, and there were other guest speakers, so very difficult for him. And on this side of StreamYard, I don't think folks realize that a lot of times it's glitching, and it can burp like up to 20 comments, and you just miss it, and you have to go back, and you're scrolling and hey, whatever cast.
Whatever cast. Wes Moody, what's up?
Hey, Wes,
brother, good to see you, man.
I don't see Wes.
That's Wes.
That's his new channel.
Hi, Wes.
So whatever cast. That's Wes Moody.
Hi.
Hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't think he's hearing me now, but he sent me he sent me I would never, he should know I would never skip one on purpose, but they were the chats for that because I had an unusual, I'm not used to having that many people.
Yeah.
So that chat was moving really quickly, and it was rapid, and I even forgot to check the poll later on it. So,
yeah.
I don't know, does YouTube keep your polls? I don't even know.
It does, it closes the poll once you close the stream.
Yeah. Cardi is now eating
my studio
pizza.
Or what? Damn it, Cardi. I want pizza.
Love you, Gil.
He's eating clam. See, he's eating clam pizza.
No, he's not. Gil would not eat that.
All the Canadians in the chat, they're like, we're going to be having everything except for clam pizza.
I can't wait till Nick Weiser comes to New Haven, then we'll do a review. Yep.
So funny.
Oh man, I
Oh,
feel
Jill
bad
just
about
said
that.
he's vegan.
Who is?
Gil.
Oh, so he's eating vegan pizza. Well, that's better than eating clams.
Yes. Eyeballs and nose
Acceptable.
juice. That's what that pizza
Oh,
sounds
don't
like.
say that.
Ugh.
No, I'm not gonna want to eat it.
I'm sorry, but it
Jesus.
sounds nasty. You know
Yeah.
what sounds good?
What?
Pepperoni and bacon.
I like eggplant and
Oh yeah,
bacon is a good
pepperoni and
combo.
bacon. Yeah.
Eggplant and
Oh,
bacon is a good
eggplant
combo.
is so slimy. What is up with you and the
No,
weird
not if it's
texture
fried.
things?
Well, if it's fried, no, but they have it. It's like deep fried eggplant on there. Yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
okay. Because I love you,
Yeah.
but you're the kind of person where you're like, I'll have some
It's
anchovies
crispy.
and baba ganoush.
Well, sometimes I get
Like,
anchovy
what?
in my
That's
pizza, so no one
pizza.
else will take a piece. Hey, can we try a piece of your pizza? Well, do you like anchovies? Ew.
Larry,
Keeps your
I
pizza
will
safe,
always
yeah.
see you. I love you and I will always see you. You're a great conversationalist. You are a good friend to one and all, and you will always be seen by me, Larry. Mwah.
Well, our business was next to we were a family business growing up, and we were next to a pizza place at one point. There was a fire in our building, and we had to move to the building next door. And the kids, the pizza place kids, are great kids, and they're like, "Dare you to eat a can of anchovies?" They're like, "We'll give you $5 or something." So that can of anchovies, I downed them awfully quick. I'm like, my last name, you wouldn't know that I'm 80% Italian, but
Oh, yeah.
it's not a problem for me. We're all it was a big joke. It
How
was
many
fun, but-
glasses of water did you require after eating the anchovies, which are like 90% salt?
Yeah, they're all salt.
Were
yeah.
you walking around with like puckered lips?
Well,
Where's
I mean,
your
they had
water?
a
Where's
Coke-
your
they had
water?
a soda dispenser, and it was their family's restaurant, so it's pretty much all you can eat. So
Oh. It's not good if all you can eat is something you don't want to eat. You know
well,
what I mean?
all you can drink Coke was good, right? Yeah.
You're cute.
Except if the dad caught them. What are you kids doing? It's cost me money. It's for the customers.
Well,
So
what can you do? What can you do? I'm so sorry about that one. I hope I didn't miss anyone else's. Now I gotta go check.
Oh, look at this.
oh, thank you, Larry.
Larry. He says, "Hail, Clobby, Raquel, Mark.
Oh, Larry,
Enjoy
you're too
you
kind.
all when I can see live streams. Yeah, whenever you have time, honey, you just stop in and say hello to us. And yeah, I love your company. So whenever you have time, please make sure you're here.
Thank you so much, Larry. You were too kind, and I love the Star Trek figure there, 1701. It's very not missed on us. You know that.
No.
Very good. Thank you so much. You're too kind, my friend. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for
cool.
supporting CLOBBY'S virtual comic book shop, and thank you for being a part of our little community here, our little fellowship here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Well, again, I hope your Muslim uncle, I wrote him back. I hope he understands out there if he's hearing this later or whatever that now I'm worried if I miss any other ones. I didn't mean to.
Boss,
Sure.
next time, as long as it's not too early in the morning, I will be there and I will ride silent chair. I don't have to know what the topic is because I can track all that stuff for you, and I can do that and be there for you to help you do that. You were juggling a lot of balls today, so I'm sure he'll understand. We'll tag him in Twitter and let him know. We'll give him a huge shout out, and I'm sure he'll be satisfied with that. And I know that he knows you didn't do it intentionally. You would never ever do that to anyone. Everyone knows that. You're a wonderful friend.
He did. He asked if could have been that or something to do with the question. Maybe he asked. Let's see here if I can find it. At least I'll read it on here.
Larry, no bloody A, B, C.
I gotta clip that. I keep saying it, but I gotta clip.
Oh, there it
that
is. I hope I didn't miss any other ones.
I didn't think you did. I was watching the stream, but I probably that one I missed that one too. But
I
That's a
left
good
to
idea
get
to
a
have someone-
cheeseburger. I wish I would have been backstage because I would have starred all that stuff and put it in his star column.
Oh, I missed 2 of them. God.
Oh no.
Master Son 42 wrote one for he gave me one for 5. I got other ones from him.
Yeah, he did
He
get
gave me one.
He had a few,
from-
yep.
I missed the one that said $5. He wrote, "Here's some money for having a look at Matt's ugly mug." Matt would have enjoyed that. Damn, that would have been a fun one.
I think
for you,
they're
Matt.
friends in real life.
Oh
Right?
yeah,
So,
he was all
yeah.
over Michael and Matt. He
Yeah.
said, "Your Muslim uncle said was hail clobbering times, Michael, Jeff, Matt, and chat. How many varieties of crossovers did these properties have, and which was your favorite? Thanks. Varieties of crossovers that they have. I said, that these properties have. Oh man, I'm not sure exactly what he means by that, but I think I would have to get him to like elaborate on that question. You know, because I mean, crossovers that the properties had. Toy comics was the topic. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't. I'm not sure exactly how many properties of these crossovers.
Oh,
had.
Chris has to leave. He says,
Oh,
all right,
Chris,
my bottle is
take
empty,
it
so
easy,
it's
buddy.
time for me to bid you
We're
all
about-
adieu.
about to
Good
go
night,
behind you.
everyone. And then he teases me, you naughty boy. I'm sending you shin kicks. Instead of smooching your whole face like I normally do, now I'm going to send you shin kicks. Look at this follow-up comment. And enjoy your pizza, Raquel, even if it is white clam.
Even if it is, there you go.
It was voted the best pizza in America.
Yuck, yuck, yuck. Good night,
No,
Chris. We love
I
you.
don't
Thank
think
you
it
for all
was
your help
voted.
today. Mwah.
No way was it voted such. Come on.
It
now.
was, yeah, it was, yep.
What?
It won an award, yep.
Ugh.
From who?
And an award
Clam
from a
diggers?
magazine called The
From
Pizzas
Clam
People Don't
Diggers.
Eat.
The clam diggers?
Yeah.
They could clam up. Well. I guess we'll start shutting her down here, folks.
Let's do it.
Show notes. Anything you would like to finish with number one? Anything to say?
I just want to say thank you very much for creating this space for us. I love you very much. Please follow my friend Mark. He's a pretty cool cat. I want to thank all of the wrenches for just everything you do for us. I love you guys very much. Thank you for supporting the show. And I want to thank each and every single person who participates in this conversation. I love your company. We'd be nowhere without you. You guys make this so much fun. I have a new story out. If you want to check Amazon Kindle, I have a new story out called Paul, the Fallow. So if you'd like to check that out, I sure could use your support. I have recently learned, because I've been doing some research, that I guess the main audience for short stories, especially science fiction short stories, it's Americans. Americans love science fiction short stories. And so I really depend upon you as my audience, and I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Well, by the way, yeah, I figured it must be meant something like that. The G.I. Joe Transformers ones is one of the few that I can remember. I don't know. That would have been a good one to ask Michael and Matt, but I'm not too sure about too many other ones. Where are I? Okay. Mark, anything you want to plug? Anything got going on, man?
Other than white clam pizza, everyone's gonna unsub for me
That's it.
now.
Mark had to leave, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. He said he's not coming back. He walked out of the airlock.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to do a video on 3D printing the Orville.
At least
Maybe
do
I'll
you
drop-
3D print clam pizza?
No, I eat those. Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, could you print food, right?
So
Yeah,
you can
food
print one,
printers.
yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. But,
Ordered by the Clam Farmers of America. Exactly, Sean.
yeah. I'm never gonna live this one down. Yeah, maybe I can get sponsored by Sally's Pizza on my channel. But no, it's been fun tonight, and that was a great panel with Iconicon you had before. And everyone check out that Iconicon. It's great stuff. I think our audience, the Star Trek show, is going to be a big one that people want to watch. They've got two of the, which you mentioned before, two of the people that actually worked on that 4K restoration. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's around.
Got a great stuff.
Yeah, that's on around 12 noon or I think, or 1 p.m. Yep. So and Eric K says 3D printed clam pizza probably tastes better. But, yeah.
Eric K is correct.
Yeah. But and I also like to wish everyone a happy Canada Day. Eat lots of KD and happy 4th of July to all of us in the States. Be safe. Do not screw around with fireworks. Ask, talk to the guy in the Giants, New York Giants, that didn't go so well, and other people. Don't screw around with Jason Pierre-Paul. Yeah, don't screw around with fireworks. Leave that to the pros. That's the Scoutmaster talking here. But yeah, have fun, be safe, drink a lot of metric beer, and have a great weekend. And hopefully, I'll see you guys Saturday night after our fireworks are over. We'll see what time they're done. But looking forward to hopping on there to review TNG in season 7. Yep.
Yay!
Everyone, here's the link in the description for the Iconicon schedule for the rest of the way. They still have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they got a lot of great stuff, including that Star Trek The Next Generation restoration panel with a couple of the guys who worked on that. Go check that schedule out. You can probably find something on there to interest you. A lot of great stuff. They're doing an amazing job with Iconicon. Loving it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yep. Tomorrow morning, I will be on with my great buddy Loki on Loki's Mornings of Mischief channel because I've committed to going on there and reviewing the Orville with them. Yeah. So I'll be on there with Loki and Dave Bob and Arwen and I think Speaker of the Dead. I think he's on there as well.
Ooh.
So look for that's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Saturday night Star Trek is back.
Dun, 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 dun.
It never left, actually. What am I talking about? But this is it, the big series wrap party for all seasons, because we're at the end of season 7, Star Trek: The Next Generation. We will review the series finale, All Good Things, and then we'll talk a little bit. We'll talk about our best episodes, or our favorite ones, I should say, or the worst episodes and best moments, perhaps, and who knows, and rank the seasons, or talk about which we'll just talk about all kind of stuff, and then we'll hang around, and hopefully we'll invite we can invite our friends in, our friends who are a part of our crew in, and we'll have a little series wrap party. We'll have a little fun because look, it's a holiday weekend and landed at the perfect time. If you're all home, of course, maybe a lot of people won't be. I don't know, but so after we do the review, we'll call in our friends. Hopefully Mark can make it if he gets home in time, and Jill, and I'm gonna try to get LT in here, and we will have.
It's Jill's wedding anniversary on Saturday. Congratulations!
It was okay to be on the show. All I have to do is remember to order sushi. Yeah. Hey, Jill, like I say, we'll review the thing first. Give you all a lot of time to come. To show up whenever you can. If you can, if not, we understand always. But we'll have some fun with it, and we'll say goodbye to the series. Then all we'll have left is the 4 movies to deal with. So,
and happy anniversary, cutie patootie.
Yes, happy anniversary to you, Jill.
I've seen your gorgeous family, and I'm so happy for you that you have such a beautiful family, that you have built this beautiful life with this person who you cherish. And so, as I should say, congratulations on this wonderful anniversary. I hope it's romantic and wonderful, and that you have many more years of happiness and wonderful family memories. Sweet lady, we love you. Mwah.
Indeedishness, Jill. Take care, Jill. Have a good one, love.
And I tagged Andy Masterson instead of anti-derivative Jill by accident in my last comment. So I'm just making a joke for anniversary. I said that no white clam pizza for your anniversary. She's getting sushi, so that's kind of close to sea bugs, right?
No.
Yeah, it's this.
You don't need sushi, right? Clobbering times?
No, well, no.
What are you, crazy?
What are you, crazy? Is you crazy, son? You don't be crazy. So, what? Okay, now everyone, is the time for us to play us out with our end credits, created, of course, by the extraordinary Number one here, a wonderful first officer. Love you, Raquel. Thank you for being here with us so late. Thank you all for
Love
being
you
here with
too.
us so late. We appreciate you. Sorry I had to do it late this week, folks. Just a little bit of a, had no choice. Had that con there, and I want to thank again my wonderful retro blasting friends for allowing me to be part of it. I'm not worthy, and they have a great channel. Please go check them out. I have links in my description below. Thank you all. Let's see here. Goodbyes. We'll definitely shout you all out Saturday night. So
We
we'll let you
definitely
go,
will.
but it's late now, so we'll let you all
Yeah,
get.
we all have to get clam pizza, so yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah.
You're never gonna live it down, honey. I love you,
Just for
but
that.
it's not gonna happen.
That's right, Larry. It is Saturday Night Star Trek with the great Howard Cosell. If I do say so himself.
No, you're Captain Cosell. You're not Howard Cosell, honey. You're Captain Cosell.
Cosell. That works too. What a night it is indeed. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful holiday weekend. Canada. Happy Canada Day. We love you, Canada. And everyone have a happy, well, I will see you again soon, but anyway, we'll wish you that again. But hey, happy Independence Day. Or I wish I could get that clip of Gene Hackman from Unforgiven saying to English Bob, he says, "You've been talking about the Queen again?" Then he put on Independence Day and it punches him.
Yeah.
I love that bit. All right, everybody. Good night.
The Duck of Death.
The Duck of Death. I always forget. I hit the wrong button, everyone. Sorry. We will have these credits after these important messages. Crap.